Live from Yeoman Stadium on the campus of Tulane University, it's the Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series on Cox Sports Television. Tonight, it's a showdown for the lead in District 10-3A as the St. Charles Catholic Comets face the De La Salle Cavaliers. Hello, everybody. Ken Berthelot along with the coach, Wade Kaiser. And tonight we've got a good one for the outright championship of District 10-3A. And as we look at the standings, it's more than just a district championship. Talk about the significance of this game, Wade.
Well, it's all about power points. Yeah. Because when they're done after week 10, everybody wants to see where they're going to be on that bracket. They're all fighting for those power points. This is for the Division II bracket. They're going to look to see where they're going to line up against University High. So it's a big one. Plus, Ken, this has also turned out to be a pretty good Catholic League rivalry between these two fine schools.
St. Charles Catholic coach Frank Monica says in his 21 years there, he's never had a player sign with a Southeastern Conference school. He's got one as a junior who everybody in the SEC would like to have. He is the nose guard, Mason Narcisse. I call him the disruptor.
Well, Mason Narcisse can play anywhere on the defensive line. He runs like a linebacker, and he's big like a defensive lineman. I was just down on the field standing next to him, and he's every bit of what Frank says he is, and more. Here's the bottom line. He's their leading tackler. De La Salle better have a plan for this cat tonight.
And if De La Salle is to have success, they've got to keep the disruptor away from running backs like Kendall Collins. How do they free Kendall Collins?
Well, Kendall Collins has all the tools. He's got great hands. They throw him the ball out of the backfield. He's a north-south runner. He gets his pad levels nice and low. He's everything you want in a fine running back. He has all the tools to help De La Salle win a district championship tonight. Question is, can they block Narcisse? Can they do the job up front? And can Kendall Collins hit those holes?
I'm excited to find out who wins the battle and who wins the war. St. Charles Catholic and De La Salle coming up next on Cox Sports TV and Crescent City Sports.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
Riverlands Insurance Services, a team of professional agents serving Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years, focused on planning, implementing quality with personalized insurance.
The strength of our company is our core of over 90 professionals specializing in the everyday needs of family to the complex world of business and risk management.
Cost-effective insurance planning is how we help our families and our businesses every day. We don't wait for a disaster, we prepare for them.
Count on Riverlands Insurance Services.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
Field advantage by Riverlands Insurance, meeting all your insurance needs. By Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team. And by Louisiana Operation Lifesaver. Remember, when you see tracks, think train. Frank Monica and his St. Charles Catholic Comets, undefeated in district and enjoying a 5-3 year, and this is one of the old Silver Foxes or the old Gray Foxes, better football teams, and he thinks he's got a chance to make it to the Dome this year. And when you see that guy right there tell you, oh, we're young, we're not too good, it's just another Frank Monica story. Don't believe it.
Well, there's a lot of Frank Monica stories out there. I had the privilege to work with him at Jesuit. I had the privilege to coach a few of his guys on the coaching staff, and there's a good look right there at an outstanding coach from De La Salle, Ryan Manali. Two great coaches on the sidelines tonight.
7th season at De La Salle. He has just built an absolute powerhouse program, a dynasty over here at De La Salle. And they too are undefeated in district, as we talked about in the open of this broadcast. Both teams 3-0, and this game is for it all right here at Yeoman Stadium on the Tulane campus, way down yonder in New Orleans. De La Salle wins the toss.
They like to take the ball. They want to get right on the field immediately, try to put some pressure on that outstanding St. Charles defense, and the way they're going to have to do it is running downhill. struggle a little bit in the passing game if you look at the statistics and things of that nature, but they're going to have to get that running game going tonight.
Beautiful night for football. This is autumn weather, football weather at its best, 67 degrees. You can see the winds blowing at 7 miles an hour. People sitting with jackets. Wouldn't have you been able to say that on a football broadcast in the New Orleans area? Not often. But we are set to go tonight. And the Cavaliers have back deep Montrell Johnson. He's an athlete. Cameron Fobb to kick it off. St. Charles Catholic in all white with the blue headgear. De La Salle in their maroon uniforms with the white helmets. And Montrell Johnson will look for room on the near side. Find it. Look at Johnson go, and he's cut down at the 35-yard line, falling forward for just a few more. And there'll be good field position for the Cavaliers to start things out as Bryce Audemars made the tackle. Now the Cavaliers come out with Fisher Rojas, a junior quarterback. Both of these teams like to run it. They're not passing teams. They'll throw it maybe 10, 11 times a game unless they absolutely have to. Rojas, 8 touchdowns passing when they've had to throw, and he's not gotten them in trouble giving the ball away. Only 1 interception. Young man's made good decisions. He'll hand it off on first down. Kendall Collins looking for room up the middle. Not much. It's going to be hard for both of these teams to run against each other. And as we look at the offensive starters for the De La Salle Cavaliers, brought to you by Riverlands Insurance, what sticks out? Or who sticks out, Wade?
Well, who sticks out right now for De La Salle is going to have a great 9 is number 76, the center, Gabe France. Watch the battle tonight between France and the nose guard and the defensive lineman, Mason Narcisse. For De La Salle to have an offensive success tonight, anywhere, Gabe France is going to have to play well.
Now Deontay LeBranch gets some good yardage, but not enough for the first down. That'll bring up third down for the De La Salle Cavaliers. And here's a look at the defensive starters for St. Charles Catholic, brought to you by Riverlands Insurance.
Well, Mandel Eugene, number 10, outstanding linebacker. Only a sophomore, but he plays like a senior. Keep your eyes on number 10 tonight. He's always around the football.
Give it to the athlete. He'll try to sweep the left side, but Montrell Johnson is cut down by Anderson Sermon. And the Cavaliers may be looking to have to give that ball away unless they want to gamble this early in the game on a 4th down and 2.
First thing I'm seeing out of St. Charles, Ken, is they're bringing 8 people down in the box and playing man on the field against the receivers. Getting the extra guy down into the box to stop the running game looks like it's going to be their MO tonight on defense.
They will gamble unless they'll just try to draw St. Charles Catholic offside. Let's see, 4th down, 2. On the first offensive series of the game. They will go for it. A keeper by the quarterback, and he's stuffed. Mason Narcisse, the disruptor, got in there and killed the play. And we talked about him and how strong and powerful he is. And my goodness.
Good look at it right here. They're going to try to run a little inside zone play. Pulling the guard and the tackle right there, trying to get them around up in the hole. A lot of white jerseys meet them right there, led by Narcisse.
And they moved Kendall Collins to the quarterback position and ran him out of the Wildcat, and it didn't work. So look at, all of a sudden, St. Charles Catholic with great field position at the 45-yard line. And here's a keeper by Justin Dumas, the quarterback, and he'll get some positive yardage before Jude Milliford.
Ken, I think they put 26 Chiarella in as a wildcat.
Yeah, they did. They surely did.
And good look right there now, trying to get extra athletes on the field for St. Charles. Chiarella, the running back, lines up at wildcat, runs power O off tackle. There's a good look at Dumas. He just came in and checked into the game. Their starting quarterback.
Another guy who likes to run the football, Dumas, only put it up 78 times in 9 games, so that's not a lot if you take it on a per-game average, but he'll put it up on and show a little passing early for this team, and he throws complete. Tackle made by Ashton Robinson, and the catch by Gano.
Gano doesn't catch the ball much on the season. That's a nice little route for him right there. The ball delivered on target.
Here's a good look at your offensive starters for St. Charles Catholic, brought to you by Riverlands Insurance.
Well, you're going to have to watch the two running backs, Philip Tran and Joe Chiarella. This two-headed rushing tandem will have to carry the torch tonight for the St. Charles offense if they're going to score some points.
St. Charles Catholic may have caught De La Salle's defense a little off guard with the run. Look at this, Chiarella. This is why he's so explosive. Finally, Joseph Husband with the stop. Not until, however, Chiarella moves it to the edge of the red zone of the Cavaliers and gets a first down.
Good look at the sweep right here. Chiarella is one of those hard-nosed, old-style, I guess you would say, old-time football players. He's just going to get things going north and south, get his pad level down, and run hard. Very physical young man. You can see him break the sweep right into the secondary of De La Salle right there. De La Salle's trying to line up with 9 people in the box there.
Dumas with the quick throw to Chiarella out of the backfield, and he's got it for a short gain before Milford brings him down. Here's a De La Salle defensive look, brought to you once again by Riverlands Insurance.
The guy I really like here is number 97, Theo Tyler. This Cavalier tackle leader has to step up tonight if he's going to stop Chiarella and Tran and the rest of that offensive crew from St. Charles Catholic.
Again, Riverlands Insurance for all of your insurance needs. Thank them for sponsoring the starting offensive and defensive units. Dumas, with the man coming across the formation, will fake it to him, keep up the middle, big hole, and he's down to the 10-yard line, very close to a first down. And that may be enough to move the chains, as Ashton Robinson was there and maybe made a touchdown saving tackle. He'll be 1 yard short of the first down.
Dumas reading those linebackers. If they flow with the crossover by the halfback faking the sweep, they run out of there. He's going to take the ball and run it up inside with the guard leading him up on the linebacker. Quarterback ISO.
Now Dumas will go under center for the first time tonight. I formation behind him. Good look. Give to Chiarella. All they want is the first down. Gets a good lead through the left side of the line. And Shamar Keelan can make the tackle, but only after St. Charles Catholic gets a first and goal inside the 10-yard line of the 9.
You know what's real interesting here, Ken, is St. Charles is lining up with 2 tight ends. That's creating the extra gap that De La Salle's got to defend on defense. There's the numbers on Chiarella. He's a solid running back, as I said earlier, one of those old-style running backs. But the 2 tight end offense that Frank Monica has come out with has immediately put pressure on this De La Salle defense to be able to have to defend an extra gap.
You know, you saw Chiarella with the 405 yards on the year, but he's averaging 5 yards a carry, and he's at that average right now. Coming wide, nowhere to go as he tries to turn the corner and is finally pushed out of bounds by Quincy Thomas.
Quincy Thomas does a nice job from his cornerback position to come up and set the edge and knock Chiarella out of bounds. You got to have that edge set all the time on the wide plays outside. Somebody's got to come up, set the edge, and you're going to have the inside-out pursuit by your linebackers, defensive linemen, and all the other teammates to be able to fill those gaps inside. Great job right there by Quincy Thomas.
I said earlier, Dumas hasn't thrown it a lot this season, but he's 1 for 1 on this drive, and outside of that, as you would expect from these two teams, they like to keep the football on the ground. Dumas could throw, could keep, he'll keep. He's got a free range shot to the end zone. Touchdown, Justin Dumas, and St. Charles Catholic draws first blood.
Dumas does a nice job right there with the run-pass option. Nothing's open. He gets to the edge. There's no contained by the Cavaliers. What does he do? He picks his way through the defense, draws first blood for the Comets.
Dumas, a 9-yard touchdown run and a thing of beauty, the swinging gate. Covered, so it comes back in the other way. Cameron Fobb is the place kicker. It is kicked up and good. And the gamble by De La Salle on 4th and 2 failed, and St. Charles Catholic takes it down on a short field and scores for the early lead in this ball game. Dumas with the touchdown.
Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, You can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team.
Here we like things local, very local.
As Justin Dumas takes it 9 yards for a score, completing an 8-play, 35-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And wow, the gamble by De La Salle in their own territory on their side of the 50 to go for it on 4th and 2, and the St. Charles Catholic defense just snubbed them, and Fobb will send this one deep. And the Cavaliers are going to take it out. Johnson run out of bounds before he can get, or as he gets close to the 25-yard line. Here are tonight's keys to victory, presented by the NOLA Lending Group.
Well, I tell you what, St. Charles is going to have to stay on schedule offensively. They did a nice job on that drive, and they're going to have to win up front on the offensive line as well as the defensive line. De La Salle's got to have a splash play somewhere, meaning a big play. Get a deep one, a long run. One of their running backs is going to have to be able to break one like Kendall Collins, and then he's going to have to force St. Charles Catholic defensively into some sort of throw-in situations. Get them in 3rd and long. They have the advantage as a De La Salle defense.
And as we talked about on the opening of this broadcast, for the people watching, keep your eye defensively on the defensive front for the St. Charles Catholic Comets, because you want to look for number 78, Mason Narcisse. We call him the disruptor. And we've got an injured player down for the De La Salle Cavaliers that they are working to. He's injured out of bounds. Oh, take that back. It's a St. Charles Catholic player. So we're going to take a break here as they see to Anderson Sermon, who's injured for the St. Charles Catholic Comets. We'll be back right after this for the De La Salle Cavalier football. Well, Anderson Sermon is okay, and they're walking him around the end zone back to the St. Charles Catholic bench. He's walking slowly. They need him in there because he's been in on 3 tackles already for the Comets. De La Salle, from their own 21-yard line, 1st and 10, they now trail by 7. He'll go wide with Johnson. Montrell Johnson finds room. He's got such speed and quickness when he can turn it on. Eli Ori finally knocks him out of bounds, but not until the Cavaliers get a first down.
Johnson does a great job bouncing outside. Great blocking out on the edge by the wide receivers for De La Salle, doing a nice job shielding off the force player for St. Charles Catholic, their cornerback, and nice pickup for the Cavaliers.
So at the 32-yard line for the Cavaliers, big thing for De La Salle right now is just keep that football moving and get back in this game quickly, because the momentum had swung to St. Charles Catholic. They're going to run more than they pass, as we told you. Moses Clark to stop.
Cavaliers running away from Narcisse that time. Narcisse is lining up at the left defensive end. They're going to play him all over that defensive line. They'll play him at nose guard. They'll play him at defensive tackle, or what is called a 5 technique. They'll play him at a 9 technique as a defensive end against a tight end. You'll see 78 all over the place. Right now, they're running away from him.
Good look at 51. That's Moses Clark, who made the last stop. Second down for De La Salle. They're trying right up the middle and finding room with it, and a good run by Kendall Collins into the arms of Cameron Campbell, but not until the Cavaliers move the chains again.
Kendall Collins, that's nice burst. He gets into the hole, makes one cut, gets his pads north and south, and he bursts into the secondary. That's what you teach running backs to do. Don't stand around and dance. Make that one cut and go. Get yourself vertical down the field.
We talked about two teams who like to run the football. What have we seen? One pass so far? And we're more than halfway through the first quarter. Kendall Collins again, left side. This time, the St. Charles Catholic defense is there, and Jordan Brown stops him for a short gain.
Kendall Collins, they moved to Wildcat that time. He's lining up at the quarterback position. So it's kind of giving you a predetermined look at what De La Salle is going to do offensively and how they're going to attack this strong defense for the St. Charles Catholic.
I think what Kendall Collins gives you for the Cavaliers is a little bit more speed and somebody with more quickness than Fisher Rojas, the junior quarterback. Kendall Collins, the senior, he's just got so much. You're getting a good look at Kendall right there. He's going to line up in that spot and hand it off. And here goes Montrell Johnson. Johnson with a burst of speed himself, and you're seeing the explosiveness of Johnson. Touchdown saving tackle by Nick Lorio.
That's what you call a splash play, Ken. Breaking it.
There it is.
That's it. That's what you call a splash play. They've got to have that tonight. That's the way you get to the St. Charles defense. You got to be able to pop the ball, get it into their secondary, and use your speed to run away from them. The strength of their front seven, talking about St. Charles Catholic, is that defensive line and a couple of linebackers. You get into their secondary, they just can't run with you. So you've got to be able to splash it back into that secondary and try to get those big plays.
Inside the red zone of St. Charles Catholic, 1st and 10 from the 18. Kendall Collins trying to pick a hole and find one. It was closed quickly by Cade Prejean. Nowhere to go, and he'll have to settle for a short gain.
Cade Prejean does a nice job coming out and fitting from his secondary position. That's what you got to have, get run support from those safeties down into the box. St. Charles that's the way they're going to get the extra guy. They're either going to get the extra guy from the secondary coming down into the box, or they're just going to line them up there and play man all across the board against the De La Salle receivers. So that way they can play 8 and 9 people all the time in the box against this run game.
Top receiver for the Cavaliers, Ivan Paz. Split wide to the right, but the Cavaliers will keep it on the ground anyway this time to Byron Phillips. Moses Clark with the stop.
Moses Clark does a nice job playing off the block right there, getting off and coming up and tripping up the running back by his ankle. Also in there was Mr. Narcisse. What do you call him, the disruptor?
The disruptor.
Oh, okay.
You know, watching video of him, it reminded me of the old Superman television series. He should just stand there with Metropolis behind him in a cape, arms folded and a big D on his chest. Disruptor. He's number 78, folks, on the defensive line. Just watch him. He'll be all over the field, and the Cavaliers are going to try to run away from him. This time, a little trickery. Wide open in the end zone. Ivan Paz. He's got it for the touchdown.
Well, they bid hook, line, sinker. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Fake the sweep right there. Sneak behind the secondary that's flying up to stop the run. And what do? You just dump it right over their head. A little halfback pass. Excellent call, excellent play, great execution.
Deontay LeBranch with the toss, and the Cavaliers are a PAT away from tying this one up. Two teams playing up to the hype of both being undefeated, sitting atop District 10-3A. It was a bad snap. They couldn't place it down, and the PAT is missed. And it's 7-6 as Blake Giacone tried to get a bad snap up, and he couldn't. Back in a moment.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
Smile, guys! Plane! My camera.
Anyone else feel a bit hot?
No worries, ladies. Got the shot.
Is my hair okay?
This is a great shot.
We're getting this swelling off on the right track.
For more than half a century, Gills Bar has offered services, solutions, and support for businesses and associations looking for happier constituents and healthier bottom lines. To learn more on how Gills Bar can help your business, visit gillsbar.com.
What a thriller this has been as Ryan Manali has his team fired up. Now, they did miss the point after touchdown, but that was an impressive drive by the De La Salle Cavaliers to get points on the board, even though they needed a little chicanery there to get it into the end zone. Sometimes you have to catch them off guard.
Well,
the head coach knows it.
It was set up very nicely. I mean, De La Salle has to run the ball, and all of a sudden you run a little play-action pass off the sweep pass, and it was executed very well. What he's shaking his head about, what he's upset about, he knows that 1 point can come back to haunt him.
Yeah. There's a little mess up on the snap and the hold. Tran, the fine running back with the return past the 30. And that gives St. Charles Catholic pretty good field position all the way up to the 33-yard line. So let's see how the Comets respond to the Cavalier score.
I want to see how De La Salle adjusts to St. Charles Catholic's too tight formation, double tight formation. St. Charles came out in the first series with two tights. And Eddie Jaguar, the outstanding defensive coordinator from De La Salle, longtime Catholic League coach. I want to see how he's going to adjust to the two tight end set of St. Charles when they come back to it.
Justin Dumas with the handoff to Chiarella. No, a good fake. He'll keep rather. And he'll get to the 39-yard line, hit and then pushed back by Jude Milford. What a good fake. Fake me out on that one. That was a real good fake.
There you go. The big thing about that was there was no read on that. That was a planned disconnect from the running back to be able to run some sort of quarterback sweep to the wide side of the field.
Got a bunch. Got 7, second down. Actually 8, second down and 2. And this time they'll line up with Dumas under center. Boho. Hand off to Chiarella, and hello, that is Tristan Llewellyn, who meets him in the backfield, and it's get the number of that truck. Boom, he's down.
Well, they didn't block him.
And Nathan Penn, also on the rush.
They didn't block him. I mean, he was right there. It's like, hello, took a picture. And great job trying to run outside stretch right there. And Mr. Llewellyn was right there coming off the block, making a great tackle against the running back for St. Charles Catholic.
On third down, little swing pass to Tran, and Tran knows where the sticks are and gets to the 44-yard line and picks up the first down by a yard before Ashton Robinson brings him down.
Well, you're seeing a lot of mix short passes, the short passing game from Frank Monica and his offensive staff, trying to keep this De La Salle defense off of track here. So it's a nice mix-up. It's a nice personnel. You've seen 2 or 3 different formations out of the Comets so far tonight. That's typical Frank Monica. He's an offensive genius to try to get the best opportunity in order to be able to give his offense an advantage. A lot of motions, a lot of shifting, a lot of formations.
Justin Dumas directing traffic, putting people in the right place, handing off to Chiarella, who has nowhere to go. And Ashton Robinson was in on that and had some help.
He also had help from Jude Milford, fine linebacker, number 9, coming straight downhill, fitting on a clear call and blowing up the running back in the backfield.
And Shamar Keelan also in there to help disrupt things a little bit. Second down 11, working behind the chains for this Comet offense. Justin Dumas will shift into the gun. Got some time. He's looking. He's throwing. That's picked off by Shamar Keelan. His first interception of the year. And the 5th for this De La Salle Cavalier offense. And again, turnovers play a big role in a game like this.
Again, St. Charles trying to mix things up. Okay, with the short passing game, they're trying to hit the back out of the backfield on the out route. What does Shamar Keeler do? He's in man coverage. He does a nice job staying right on the hip and breaking underneath, intercepting the pass for his first interception of the season. Here we go. Good look at it right here. Dumas takes a look right to his right. Look at him break right underneath the ball right there, coming off the hip. Great hands right there by Shamar Keelan.
And the field position is exactly what the Cavaliers need on the St. Charles Catholic 47-yard line. Fisher Rojas at quarterback. Fake the handoff. He wants to throw long down the left side, and he just overthrows his intended receiver, Ivan Paz, who also had another receiver floating down deep for the Cavaliers in
no separation.
Jacques Juneau.
Right. No separation right there by the De La Salle receivers. That's where they've been struggling all the year. They can't get on top of anybody's defensive backs and create separation. They've been struggling with that ball timing, protection issues. That's the reason why the throwing game just hasn't been all that great for them this year.
So on 2nd and 10, they'll go with the screen pass to the right side. They'll get a few, but not very much, as Bryce Audemars puts the stop on Ivan Paz, and that is the end of the first quarter. It was fast as we expected, because after one, an extra point is determined the lead, which belongs to St. Charles Catholic.
Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team.
Riverlands Insurance Services, a team of professional agents serving Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years, focused on planning, implementing quality with personalized insurance.
The strength of our company is our core of over 90 professionals specializing in the everyday needs of family to the complex world of business and risk management.
Cost-effective insurance planning is how we help our families and our businesses every day. We don't wait for a disaster, we prepare for them.
Count on Riverlands Insurance Services.
Looking for a place to stop after the game? Check out the Flag Stick in Clearview Mall next to Walk-Ons, and be sure to ask about the Flag Stick's exclusive membership program. Call 504-510-5577 or check them out online at theflagstickgolf.com. And not only that, they got some great food over there. You don't want to play golf, just stop into the Flag Stick and try some of the real good food they have at the Flag Stick, right next to Walk-Ons.
Sounds like a plan. You buying?
I am. I like that place. So, let's see, for you, a hamburger and fries, and for me, I think I'll try the filet.
As long as you're buying.
Well, we talked about this game being a fast-moving first quarter and possibly first half and maybe game, because neither one of these teams like to throw the ball. I don't think we have an incomplete pass. I think the few passes that have been thrown in the first quarter have all been completed. And like you said, they've been careful passes, as we get a keeper by Kendall Collins as he lines up and brought down by Mason Narcisse.
Mason Narcisse is there. Also coming up from his safety position was Bryce Audemars. Audemars comes flying up to the line of scrimmage. Look for that play-action pass again. Run-pass combination where they'll hand the ball off, flea flicker style play, to be able to draw that safety up in there and try to throw the ball behind them. You know, they don't pass much, but here's the deal. It's when they pass, how they pass, and what are they doing off of the pass. Play action. I'll elaborate in a second.
Yeah, Kendall Collins, he'll just drop back and punt on 4th down. He's got that ability to do it. It'll take a left-hand turn at the 20-yard line and go out of bounds, though. Still not bad. And that'll give the ball to St. Charles Catholic early here in the second quarter. The World Boxing Super Series comes to UNO Lakefront Arena tomorrow night. New Orleans' own Regis Projet takes on Terry Flanagan in the main event. One of two quarterfinals for the Ali Trophy. Go to Ticketmaster.com or the Arena box office to get your tickets.
Ken, I was talking about when you throw the football, it's what you're throwing it off of. Are you throwing it off a play-action pass? What are your routes? Are you working on little option routes, flat routes, slant routes, what they call the quick game? And that's what we've been seeing so far, except for, of course, the halfback pass.
Well, on first down, look at this. My goodness. There goes Keenan Goff.
Tell you what, the St. Charles Catholic coaches are real high on this guy.
Only a sophomore.
Right,
Uh-oh, flag on the play. And
that's coming back.
That's the first penalty in this game, coming at the 11:05 mark of the first half.
Talking about Keenan Goff again, talking to Ty Monica, the wide receivers coach for the Comets, who I had the pleasure to coach back in the 90s when I was coaching at St. Charles Catholic, was talking real high about Keenan Goff, this young sophomore to date, 34 attempts, 359 yards. He's got 5 TDs. But here's a big one, Ken, 10.4-yard average every time this guy touches the ball. So he's one of these guys that gets you splash plays. 10.4-yard average, he's going someplace. This guy's going to have a great future.
Costly penalty. Oh, we've got another flag just thrown.
Well, that could be on the sideline.
Yeah.
Was it illegal substitution or was it unsportsmanlike?
Don't know.
Okay.
They're not moving the ball.
All right. Well, if they didn't move the ball, it could have possibly also be some sort of sideline warning that they could have given to the coaching staff at St. Charles Catholic. And I know how Frank works the officials, so that's going to be my bet if I'm going to Vegas.
And it came from the official right in front of the St. Charles Catholic bench, standing pretty close to Frank Monica. So I think you might have hit the Vegas jackpot on that one. Justin Dumas on the keeper, Nathan Penn on the stop, trying to get some of the penalty yardage back, and he just got a few. Needed a lot more than that.
Well, the intensity that comes off your boundary, and I'm going to talk about that for a second, having been there in many instances. What you say, how you act, and how far you come on the field to get it said and done depends on how far they're going to let you go on that boundary. And apparently they just sent a message to Coach Monica.
Fumble, ball's loose. De La Salle says they have it, and that was 2nd and 18, and the Cavaliers might. Hold on, the officials haven't signaled it yet. They're unstacking the pile, and now they do. It's De La Salle Cavalier ball deep in St. Charles Catholic territory. Wow, as they forced and got the turnover at the 16-yard line.
Well, this De La Salle defense has only been giving up 19 points per game. Look at it right here. Look at the penetration by everybody in the maroon. Ball pops out. Ball just wasn't secured very well. Somebody got a hand in there and knocked that ball out. That's a big turnover for the Cavaliers. As I said, they've only been averaging giving up 19 points a game. They live off of turnovers.
Well, Cavaliers trailing by 1 have a golden opportunity right here inside the red zone. Give to the left, and Kendall Collins tripped up in the backfield and spilled by Eli Ori.
Eli Ori gets some penetration. They have a little slant on up front for that St. Charles front, and they penetrate the De La Salle offensive line. And Eli Ori gets into the backfield and trips up the running back for a nice loss.
Loss on that one of 3 yards.
Eli Ori is the sack leader for this Comet defense. He's a fine football player, has a tendency to get into the backfield.
Kendall Collins, the running back, taking the snap directly, playing at the quarterback slot, nowhere to go as he tries to find his way back up the middle. He's inside the 20-yard line, but has not gotten the original lost yardage back yet, and that'll bring up 3rd down for the Cavaliers.
De La Salle having a hard time trying to run on this 9-man front. of St. Charles. They're getting safety play down into the box. The big guys up front on that nice-sized defensive line for St. Charles are kind of controlling the line of scrimmage at this point. And right now, you can see a good look at Jordan Brown, a fine defensive lineman from St. Charles Catholic. Those guys kind of are having their way right now with the De La Salle offensive line.
Third down and behind the chains, 3rd and 12, and Cavaliers try to go up the middle, and again, you just talked about you're running against a bunch of people in the box, and there's just nowhere to go. Jordan Brown first to hit him and got a lot of help from some other white jersey Comet players.
It's not in there.
No, Kendall Collins just found that out.
Right, it's not in there. They're going to have to get on the edge where they had their success back in the first quarter. They got to get on the edge.
Blake Giacone coming in to attempt the field goal. His longest is 35. This would tie it if he can hit it. He's got plenty of leg. It's up and no good. He missed it to the left. Another opportunity missed by the Cavaliers. Let's see how the defense responds when we come back.
Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
We're set to go, and during that commercial break, I've got to tell you, Wade and I were just enjoying the show of Frank Monica working the officials. Now, we've seen at least what we think is one warning on the bench already, but you work for Frank Monica. You know he works the officials pretty good, don't you?
Nobody does it better. and here's the deal. What I learned from him, besides learning how to work officials, and don't get me wrong, our officials do a great job, all right? They do a wonderful job. But he taught me a lot of that. But you know what he taught me? He taught me so much about the game of football and how to handle young men as being a leader. And he was such a fine inspiration for me and a fine leader for me as a young coach.
Gano for 2 on the last carry, or the last pass, rather, and now you've got 2nd down and 8. Dumas, he wants to go long. He'll try for the man again, and he can't reach him this time. And here comes a flag. Pass interference called on Quincy Thomas.
Well, again, the St. Charles receiver does not get on top. They're running foot for foot. We got to see what happened, if we can get a replay on that to be able, maybe it was a little hold, a little tug.
And the young man that they were trying to get the ball to was a 6'5" or 6-foot junior. By the way, our referee tonight is Scott Baudet.
Well, here's another look at it right here. Tell you what, those guys in the truck do a great job getting us these replays. There's Thomas trying to stretch the field vertically. See what we've got. Yeah, there you go, right there. He's holding him at the hip and at the belt buckle with his left hand. If you saw how his arm was extended, they're going to call that every time. If his arm wouldn't have been extended, then he might have gotten away with it.
Now they go back to the same guy they tried to hit on the pass interference play, and that's Askia Armand, a junior, eligible today for the first time. Coming into St. Charles Catholic, late Shamar Keelan makes the stop. And now St. Charles Catholic's looking at 2nd down and 7.
Again, a nice little run-pass mix from that St. Charles Catholic offense. Again, it's how you throw the ball and where you're throwing the ball. Using the short passing game, and every now and then just try to stick one down the field. Just try to get that splash on by stretching that fine De La Salle secondary vertically.
For a team that likes to run, St. Charles Catholic's done a fine job, as you said, of mixing up the pass and the run. Chiarella nowhere to go. He's pulled down from behind. Looked for a moment like he might have a slot, but it closed quickly.
Joseph Husband gets right there, plays off the block on the option, does a nice job tackling the pitch back. What a great job by Joseph Husband. A 5'10", 180-pound, strong safety, outside linebacker, hybrid kind of football player. Makes a great play for the Cavalier defense.
All right, 3rd and 10. Coming back in the game is Askia Armat. Watch him. He's number 8, top of your screen. And the Comets are going to talk about this one because it is a big 3rd down and a little bit less than 9 on this play. So we'll take the timeout with them with 7:21 to play in the first half. It's still a 7-6 ball game, St. Charles Catholic.
All right.
3rd down 9 for St. Charles Catholic. Justin Dumas back deep, but Joe Chiarella standing next to him.
Somebody better walk out on the number 2 receiver at the top.
Askia Armat, watch him, he's way at the top. When St. Charles Catholic has thrown the ball on this series, well, they didn't put the ball back into play, and St. Charles Catholic is going to rehuddle. And rehuddle and give them a different look. How would you like to be in this ball game at this time with 2 errors, an interception and a fumble inside your own red zone, and still be up by 1 point, an extra point? Says a lot to the way these two teams battle each other.
Well, that's the reason why luck plays a big, big part in football games too. All right, they've walked out and covered the number 2 receiver now.
St. Charles Catholic couldn't get the ball in play before they didn't cover him. Oh, look at the room. And Dumas will run for the first down, crossing the 50 down to the 49-yard line before being pushed out of bounds. But he waited long enough and then saw the open real estate in front of him and took advantage of it.
Great awareness by Dumas. Everything's covered down the field, no place to go. Steps right up, and then, you know, I guarantee he was told, if you've got grass, then you've got to run. You've got to find the sticks and get out of bounds. But make sure you get the sticks first. Nice job by Dumas with good football awareness.
You know, he was approaching 300 yards rushing coming into this game. And we say that the Comets don't like to throw, but he was about 366, right around 375 passing.
Again, it's how you
added
throw
to
the
that
ball,
today.
Ken.
Exactly.
Like that,
to Chiarella, a safe pass, a little screen pass out of the backfield, and boom. Doesn't get too much on this one because Joseph Husband shuts the door. But he did get 1 or 2.
Joseph Husband comes out and really lays a lick on Chiarella from his safety position. Nice job, nice tackle right there. And he, like you said, shut the door on Chiarella. I like this cat, man. I tell you what, look at him. He's got a little blood coming from his nose. He's got a torn up chin. You know, let me catch my breath for a minute. I'll be fine. Okay, coach, I'm ready to go. Put me back in. I like this guy. He's a hard-nosed, old-style running back.
Yeah, you think the hits don't look hard when you're looking at them on TV. If you're down there, they're hard. They're hitting real hard. Tran tries to turn it in, gets a few, but Joseph Husband again, boom, with the big hit.
Safety support coming up from his safety position. De La Salle's playing a 2-high secondary, basically cover 4, about 8 to 10 yards off the ball so they can get down in the box and give them run support. Husband comes up and just bangs people up from his safety position. I like this cat too. This guy's very physical.
St. Charles Catholic now facing third down again. 3rd down and 5. Just under 6 to play in the first half. Again, you've got Armand, the wide receiver, up at the top. That's the way they're looking. They go to him. He'll try to turn, keep it inside, and he wouldn't have got the first down even had he stayed at the outside before Jude Milford grabbed him, spun him, and threw him out of bounds.
He's got to get to the sticks right there. He's got to run his route to the sticks. Even though it's a 90 game or sprint out 90 game right there, he's got to get to the sticks or past the sticks and come back and catch the ball for the first down.
4th down now, and I don't think there's any question that St. Charles Catholic is going to go for this one. Punt the ball, it goes into the end zone. You're not getting enough on the flip of the field. So 4th down, 3. Oh, and they might get it as a gift.
They hard count him. Right there comes up. They get to the line of scrimmage. They hard count him really fast. Big mistake right there by the Cavaliers.
Now, I understand how Ron Manali feels on that one.
There's a good look at it right here. Hard counts him. And there you go. Little mistake right there. Costs you 5 yards. First down. Keeps the drive going for the Comets. You know, it's little things like that that drive a coach nuts. And Eddie Jaguar down there was just pulling his hair out right now.
From the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for St. Charles Catholic. The fake to Chiarella, and wow, wide open on the right side. Taylor Miller, first catch of the game, and Miller very close to a first down at the 26-yard line. Jacoby Hankton with the tackle, and let's see if they move the chains. They will. Got just enough to get the first down.
First run pass option we've seen tonight out of the Comets. Right there. They run the counter the opposite way, reading the outside linebacker from De La Salle. If he goes with the flow, quarterback's going to disconnect with the running back and throw the ball out to the wide receiver. In this case, number 14, Taylor Miller. Nice RPO action.
Dumas. Handoff to Chiarella, and boom, he is met in the backfield by Theodore Tyler and tossed down.
Theodore Tyler, the sack leader for the Cavaliers. He's their tackle leader. He's got 25 big tackles on the season for the Cavaliers. Right there, comes off the down block, squeezes the down block, takes the air out of the gap, and tackles the running back right there for no gain.
Yeah, give him his 7th TFL, tackle for loss on the season right there. And that'll make 2nd down, and St. Charles Catholic's once again playing from behind the chains. That's 5 straight negative rushes, negative yard rushes for Chiarella. You'd think the Cavaliers are really focusing on stopping him.
We've got a whistle. I believe we might have a timeout.
Either that. Did he call? Did he get the timeout in? Yeah, delay of game.
Delay of the game. There you go.
The clock was running down, and it looked like they were trying to call timeout from the other sideline, but they didn't get it in time. So that's going to move St. Charles Catholic back. And once again, the Comets playing from way behind the chains.
This is what the Comets don't like to do. When they're behind the chains, it takes them off of their schedule, and it creates throwing situations.
They're at the 33. They have to get to the 16-yard line for a first down. Play action, and after the fake handoff, Dumas finally run out of bounds by Shamar Keelan.
You know, when you get behind the chains and it puts you in these 3rd and long situations, what they're coming up with right now you can start teeing off as a defensive line. And as defensive linemen like to do, they like to get that leg cocked back, and they like to sprint and get off the ball. And now it creates a lot of pressure on that offensive line for your offense.
One thing about this drive by St. Charles Catholic, it's eating up a lot of clock. You got just 4 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the first half, and St. Charles Catholic will call timeout, so we'll take the break with them. Comets are driving. De La Salle Cavaliers trying to rise to the occasion. St. Charles Catholic trying to protect and add to a 1-point lead.
Riverland Riverlands Insurance Services, a team of professional agents serving Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years, focused on planning, implementing quality with personalized insurance.
The strength of our company is our core of over 90 professionals specializing in the everyday needs of family to the complex world of business and risk management.
Cost-effective insurance planning is how we help our families and our businesses every day. We don't wait for a disaster, we prepare for them.
Count on Riverlands Insurance Services.
Joe Brown Park has always been a kind of haven, but the storm left it in a mess. Kids that don't have a safe place to play and go to end up in trouble. After Katrina, I didn't know if Joe Brown would ever come back, but it did, and today its facilities are second to none. We're developing kids that will become champions in our community, in school, in business, and in life.
4 minutes and 5 ticks to play in the first half of this ball game. St. Charles Catholic looking at 3rd and long. They're at the 30-yard line of the De La Salle Cavaliers, and they have to get to the 16. 3rd and 14 for the Cavaliers. For the Comets. Dumas at quarterback. Takes the snap, throws the pass, incomplete, intended for Esquilla Armat. And he was down on his knees, but Joseph Husband was covering, and he couldn't hold it.
Trying to run a curl route there. He's open. He's open in the zone. De La Salle elects to play zone right there in a too-high coverage. I haven't seen any man out of them yet. They run a little bubble curl combination to the wide side of the field. The ball just doesn't get there. So it's going to bring up 4th and long for the Comets.
Yeah, no field goal unit coming on here. Too deep for them. So it's 4th and 14. Taylor Miller wide to the left. Dumas looking the other way, now turns, goes to a little inside screen over the middle. It's complete to Jacob Ganote, and Ganote's tackled way short of the first down. Ashton Robinson with the tackle that turns the ball over to the Cavaliers on downs.
What they wish they had back was the curl route on 3rd down, Ken. Just a great route. He's open. Dumas just can't get him the ball. Dumas is going to the boundary, all upset over that, and he needs to be because that was a big play. Then they run on 4th down. They run the tight end screen. Ganote set up underneath, but everybody in maroon just converges on Ganote. No place to go.
Let's go inside the rivalry presented by Louisiana Operation Lifesaver, who reminds you when you see tracks, think train. De La Salle finally turned the tables on St. Charles Catholic last year, winning in Laplace. The teams met in both the regular season and the playoffs in 2013 and 14, with the Comets winning all 4 meetings. On 1st down, Cavaliers hand it to the guy they describe as an athlete. Montrell Johnson comes to the near side, but Luke Browser stops him short of very much, and he'll only gain 1 on the play.
Luke Browser does a great job from his cornerback position, getting off the block, coming up and setting the edge. Also coming inside out from his strong safety position was Bryce Altamont, who do a great job shutting down the sweep of the Cavaliers. That's the way you play corner. Get off the block, come up, set the edge. Somehow you got to rip through it, swim through it, get the block off you, create a small body edge, come up and set the edge against the running back, force him back inside.
Difference in this game right now, an extra point by the Comets of St. Charles Catholic. Cavaliers have had an interception, and they've forced a fumble and recovered in the St. Charles Catholic red zone, but they have not been able to turn those things into points.
Well, they keep trying to pound it inside in between those tackles, and it's hard sledding in there against those big guys.
Kendall Collins again for not much, and that brings down 3rd and long.
You know, Ori, Clark, Brown, Narcisse, Hackett, those guys inside are big dudes, man. And you're just not getting any movement on that offensive line. They keep trying to pound it inside those tackles. They can get beat up in there.
3rd down and 8, and the St. Charles Catholic bench and some of the players on the field getting their support from their crowd to make a little noise to help the defense. Now they'll try again with Montrell Johnson. Same play they ran on 1st down, and Josh Tomplane makes the tackle, and the Cavaliers will have to punt the football away with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the half.
Well, I tell you what, Bryce Altamont, number 7, the free safety for the Comets is just flying down inside, getting into that box. Look for some sort of play-action pass again. Like I said, we saw for the touchdown, the toss pass or sweep pass coming up soon from the Cavaliers.
Jacoby Hankton to punt, and he'll wobble one, which doesn't take much of a Cavalier bounce, but does work its way over the midfield stripe to the St. Charles Catholic 49-yard line, and with 2:09, the Comets have great field position. That's Amore Pizzeria, offers authentic Chicago deep dish and New York-style thin crust pizza pies. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner with a full menu including salads, po' boys, sandwiches and wraps, seafood and pastas, and of course, the best pizza on the planet. That's Amore, where the food is amazing and customers are treated like family. Matter of fact, the crew ate That's Amore pizza, and I think their best move was getting to the pizza before Wade Kaiser got to it.
Tell you what, I didn't get a piece. I have to have a word with somebody in management.
You're losing a step with age. I got to get you back on the track. Incomplete pass to the left side for Armont, and he was a little upset with himself that he couldn't go get that ball, but he was well covered by Quincy Thomas.
Quincy Thomas all over the out route. No separation by there from the St. Charles Catholic receiver. You got to push. You got to push, get some separation, come back to the boundary, come back to the ball. The route just wasn't that good. There was no push and there was no come back to the ball, which gives the defensive back, Quincy Thomas, a chance to be all over it.
Ever a shot where you're depending on your defense? Cavalier fans are depending on it on this drive right there. Oh, just behind the intended receiver, and he couldn't grab it. That was Sutton Bourgeois. Nakia early covering, but that ball was just a little bit behind where it needed to be.
Again, the wide receiver wide open on the curl route. We saw that in the last series on third down. Ball's not on target. You know, they've been struggling with this all year. Ty Monica, Coach Monica, Frank Monica told me they've just been struggling all year with the throwing game. You know, Dumas is a fine athlete. Is he a thrower? Not by definition. Perfect example of it right there.
Well, now he's looking at third down 10. This is 4-down territory, I'm sure, but Dumas will keep. He's got a little bit of room, and he's wrestled out of bounds by June Milford before he can get to the first down marker. It's going to be fourth down and short yardage as we go under the 2-minute mark.
That's what Dumas does well.
Yeah.
Everybody's covered. Let me get out of here. Let me try to get to the sticks and pick up a first down or as much yardage as I can possibly get. At least it brings up a fourth down and manageable. It's 4-down territory for the Comets right now with 1:51
Absolutely.
left in the quarter. Oh, look at this. They're going to sprint on and try to punt it and pin them deep. I like the idea.
If it's not a fake punt by Frank Monica. Nick Lorio is the punter. And up, he's going to put a leg into it. It's a beauty. Cavaliers will let it bounce, and it'll roll inside the 5 and be blown dead at the 4-yard line with 1:37. And Frank Monica is counting on his defense to maybe force a turnover in this final 1:37. If you're De La Salle, what's your game plan right here? Do you take what's
Let's don't make a mistake down here.
Well, here's the thing. Do you just take it into the locker room? Look at the winningest active coaches. Frank Monica, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. 5th on that roster here in Louisiana. Of course, J.T. Curtis up at the top, and then you're looking at Hank Tierney, who got a lot of those wins at Shaw, a few at West Jefferson, and is getting some at Ponchatoula. Saw them earlier this year against Slidell with Larry Favre's team. The old Frank Monica. And look, Frank Monica, 12 years as an assistant at Tulane. If he gets 8, 9, or 10 wins a year for 12 years, he's probably right up there ahead of Lewis Cook and behind Jim Hightower and third on this list.
Well, like I said, I had the opportunity to work with him. I had the opportunity to coach both of his sons, Nick, who is the defensive coordinator at Rummel, and Ty Monica, who's on his staff here at St. Charles Catholic. You know, outstanding family, outstanding football family. And what I learned from Frank Monica, it was priceless. Just all the advice and as well as the opportunity to be able to learn how to coach from him.
And And after that 51-yard punt, which backed up the Cavaliers, I think the Cavaliers want that clock to run, and it ticks down under the 1-minute mark in this first half. Look, all for an extra point. This has been an evenly played first half, and the Cavaliers are going to call timeout with 53 seconds and 2nd down and 8 from their own 6-yard line.
Well, both teams want the clock to run right now. They want to get into the locker room without any type of damage done. It was a great decision by the Comets to sprint their punt team on and kick the De La Salle offense deep into their own territory.
I want to remind everybody to tune in to Cox Sports Television CST on November the 4th for the All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA Preparing Show. The Road to the Dome begins with the revealing of the state's 9 playoff brackets. Find out your team's Road to the Dome next Sunday, November the 4th at 11 a.m. right here on CST. We haven't talked to Renee Nadeau yet. He's been part of that for a number of years, on and off, and I hope he's there because he brings so much to the table when he's part of that show. Second down and 8 from the 6. The word for De La Salle is no turnovers. Careful. Protect the football. They won't even hand it off. Kendall Collins will turn the corner and go down at the 11-yard line. Cameron Campbell with the stop.
No mistakes down here. That's what De La Salle's got to think. They got to make sure that they hold on to the ball and not put the ball on the ground, anything kind of silly.
And he stayed in bounds. Clock is running.
Right.
And I think right now just get it away from your goal line. As you said, don't make a mistake. Let's get in the locker room and regroup. There's only an extra point separating these two teams after one half of play. And for the Cavaliers, or actually for the St. Charles Catholic Comets, with 2 mistakes, an interception and a fumble, it could have been worse. But that's old Frank Monica's team, and the Cavaliers are going to let this clock run down as we get right down to the 7-second mark, and they have to stop it.
Well, there was a 7-second difference. There was 7-second difference on the 25-second clock and the clock. So, Ryman Alley, extremely smart, runs it all the way down, takes his timeout at 3rd and 3, and wants to make sure he tells him right now, we're going to have to snap this ball. Let's make sure we don't fumble the snap. Okay? Don't put the ball on the ground. Take care of the football.
No, that's the big thing. Get in the locker room, regroup, and come back out for the second half. Tonight's game is presented by Eole College Inn and Rockin' Bowl. College Inn, a true New Orleans farm-to-table restaurant. Open Tuesday through Saturday for dinner, and the home of the New Orleans Prep Sports Hall of Fame. If you haven't visited Eole College Inn, do so not only for the great food, and especially with the emphasis by a lot of people now on farm-to-table type food. But man, take a look at Ron Bricada's Prep Hall of Fame, High School Hall of Fame. It's something real special. The plaques, the stories.
Right.
You'll find yourself just
I go in there, I don't eat.
Yeah.
I'm looking around the walls.
Or you bring your hamburger with you and just go at it. And coming around the end before being dropped in the first half of play is Montrell Johnson, stopped by Joff Tomplay. And with that, we have played one half of football here at Yulman Stadium. They're battling for the top of District 10-3A. It's 7-6 St. Charles Catholic at the half.
Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team.
Smile, guys. Plane! My camera.
Anyone else feel a bit hot?
No worries, ladies. Got the shot.
Is my hair okay?
This is a great shot.
We're getting this sweating off on the right track.
for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
For more than half a century, Gills Bar has offered services, solutions, and support for businesses and associations looking for happier constituents and healthier bottom lines. To learn more on how Gills Bar can help your business, visit gillsbar.com.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
We are back at Yeoman Stadium at halftime. It's St. Charles Catholic leading De La Salle 7-6. Football is a scientific game. Now, an Arizona-based group is bringing the science of football into middle school classrooms with the help of the All-State Sugar Bowl. Jude Young has the story.
On a fall afternoon here at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, the latest event to be sponsored by the All-State Sugar Bowl had no winners or losers. Instead, 40 middle school teachers assembled to learn how to bring the game of football into their classrooms. It's part of a program called Science of Sport.
The Science of Sport is a nonprofit that develops STEM curriculum using different sports examples. And we provide programming to teachers and students all across the country.
We've shown by our actions over the years, the Sugar Bowl Committee has, that we're committed to providing opportunities for young people in our city and state, and that remains a priority for us. It is different in that it's not a competition now, but we saw a need there.
A best-selling book inspired University of Arizona Systems and Industrial Engineering professor Ricardo Valerdi to create Science of Sport in 2012.
The idea for Science of Sport came from the book Moneyball, which was a way to use statistics to understand baseball better. So we've extended that concept to football. And at the end of the day, our goal is to make football a way to make science and math fun for students.
Football is now the fourth different sport in the Science of Sport family, after baseball, basketball, and soccer.
We developed this program to be able to train teachers on the Science of Football program, like we are here today, hosting a professional development, giving them a full binder of curriculum that they can use in the classroom, and kit materials that they can take back to their school and play football and use in the classroom for them. So this is really the start of the program. We'll have a culminating event for these schools that are participating in a couple months, where they all get to come back and really showcase the things that they've learned throughout the past couple months.
We're going to look at things like passing routes and the geometry associated with running either a 90-degree turn or a 45-degree turn. We're going to be looking at stadium capacities around the country of the previous winners of the Sugar Bowl. So all the students will be exposed to schools like Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, and we'll also be exposing them to the Wonderlic exam, which is a brief way to measure intelligence. It's not perfect, but at least it helps people see the connection between intelligence and ability on the football field.
We'd like to think that the Sugar Bowl is a local treasure, and it's been around for 80-some years, but we want to make sure the young people know about it, know about its history, and know how important it is to the city and state.
The Science of Football program figures to grow even more next year when New Orleans hosts the College Football Playoff Championship game. What's next for the program locally and nationally?
We're going to continue improving the quality of our delivery. Not just in person, but also into the digital age. So we are now working on a smartphone app to help gamify some of these concepts and allow students to use their interest in video games as a way to learn about math and science.
We've started at a 5th through 8th grade level, and we're using a small serving of about 40 teachers. And so we want to be able to expand that outreach and really to be able to provide it to more schools, more teachers, more students throughout the greater area of New Orleans.
These young people that will be learning from the teachers who are here today are going to be the future of our city, and we want them engaged and feeling positive about the Sugar Bowl Committee in the years ahead so that we can continue to serve, our various constituencies for a long time to come.
For Crescent City Sports, I'm Jude Young.
At Yeoman Stadium, St. Charles Catholic has the lead at halftime, 7-6. Back with more of our halftime right after this. We're at Yeoman Stadium. Ken Berthelot, Wade Kaiser, our Cox Sports Television and Crescent City Sports broadcast team. At halftime, St. Charles Catholic is leading De La Salle 7-6. Here's a look at scores from around the state. Get the most complete and up-to-date Louisiana Prep football scoreboard anywhere at CrescentCitySports.com, presented by the All-State Sugar Bowl. Wade, take a look at this one. Final on Thursday. Holy Cross rebounds and defeats St. Aug. Always a good close game, and it's good to see Holy Cross, with the injuries they had, come back and get a victory.
Well, it's a war in the Catholic League week in, week out. And you're right, Holy Cross rebounds from last week, comes back and beats a real good St. Augustine football team 24-20.
Jesuit playing out of district
Correct.
now. This is their open week, and, of course, it's always tough when you go up against Destrehan.
Oh, Destrehan with the fine skill athletes that they have, the fine running back, fine quarterback, and you see a good look at it right there, 28-16.
Lakeshore leading Pearl River, and Assumption and Newman. No surprise that Newman's doing what Newman always does. Assumption's a one-loss team, however, and Newman's making it look good. Ascension Catholic shutting out Kentwood in the second quarter. West Monroe rolling over Washita Parish. Sterlington with the lead over Union Parish. And John Curtis and Rummel, you'll see it right here on CST and Crescent City Sports tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's a doubleheader for you and I, too. I'm looking forward to that game as much as I was looking forward to this one.
Well, how exciting is that going to be? Probably the game that could decide the Catholic League right there. We're going to get to call it tomorrow. I'm so excited about that.
We're both right atop the Division II power ratings. You know that's going to be a very important game and a very big game. And, of course, wow. Well, Division II power ratings, take a look at this. What jumps out at you?
Right. Well, what jumps out at me is everybody from 2 down are going to be looking at where they're going to be after Week 10 to see what side of the bracket they're on with University Lab. I don't know if there's a finer football team in the state of Louisiana right now than than University Lab. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, especially in Division II. I mean, hey, De La Salle goes all the way to the state championship game last year, so that's always tough when you meet University Lab. The Cavalier fans waiting for their De La Salle team to explode with the offense in the second half. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this.
Riverlands Insurance Services, a team of professional agents serving Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years, focused on planning, implementing quality with personalized insurance.
The strength of our company is our core of over 90 professionals specializing in the everyday needs of family to the complex world of business and risk management.
Cost-effective insurance planning is how we help our families and our businesses every day. We don't wait for a disaster, we prepare for them.
Count on Riverlands Insurance Services.
We started Youth Run NOLA as a group of classroom teachers wanting to spend some more time with our students after school. The kids of Youth Run NOLA don't necessarily have a lot of opportunity. Being a part of the Crescent City Classic has significantly impacted our ability to raise money, enough funds to transport all of our kids back and forth, buy them all the equipment they need to go running safely. Winning the race is not the most important thing. This is all about setting a goal and achieving it.
Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
Welcome back to Yeoman Stadium. Ken Berthelot along with Wade Kaiser, 7-6, an extra point separates St. Charles Catholic from De La Salle. And this game started out with the Cavaliers taking the opening kickoff. They won the toss. They wanted the football. They get it. They get close to midfield, but they're still on their side, the 50. They go for it on 4th and 2. St. Charles Catholic stuffs them. Then St. Charles Catholic goes down, scores on a 9-yard run by Dumas, the quarterback. It's 7-0. Cavaliers come right back. They drive down, use a little trick play, throw a little short pass to Ivan Paz in the end zone. They missed the extra point, and that's where we are right now, 7-6. What surprises have you seen, and maybe anything happening that you weren't expecting?
Nothing really that I've expected. I expected a defensive football game, and we're getting it. 105 total yards of offense for both teams. All right, that's it. So you're knowing somebody's playing defense out there.
Yeah.
That's those two guys. They're playing defense. They're doing great jobs. They're getting their safeties down into the box to be able to stop each other's running game. They're making nice big hits, nice big tackles. The only big thing is there's been a splash play by De La Salle. That word tonight, splash play. They had the nice little halfback pass off the sweep for the splash play right there for the touchdown. Okay? They've got to have to do that more in the second half.
Well, as we not only look at the splash play, we look at what might happen in the second half. We can also look at statistics, and you talked a little bit about I think when you look at turnovers, the fact that St. Charles Catholic turned it over twice, but still holds a 7-6 lead. They got away without the 2 turnovers doing any damage, 1 interception, 1 fumble inside their own red zone, and they hold the Cavaliers. That says something special about this St. Charles Catholic Comet team.
Well, that's Frank Monica willing that. All right, he's out there, 2 turnovers. We are not going to turn the ball over anymore, and we are going to make sure we stay up on that scoreboard.
Well, with that, we will take a break and come back with the second half kickoff right after this on Crescent City Sports and CST. The Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by NOLA Lending Group, your home field advantage. By Riverlands Insurance, meeting all your insurance needs. By Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team. And by Louisiana Operation Lifesaver. Remember, when you see tracks, think train. Always good to come back to the Angry Wave and the campus here at Tulane University and Yalman Stadium. Of course, the Green Wave out. Heading to Tulsa, and they'll start Justin McMillan against Tulsa tomorrow.
You know, you spent a lot of time around here, Ken. you're back at Tulane, but everybody needs to know this. Last Friday night, right here at Yalman Stadium, my partner and friend Ken Berthelot was inducted into the Tulane Athletic Hall of Fame. Ken was the voice of the Green Wave for 15 years and called the play-by-play for some of the greatest moments in Green Wave history. Ken received the Billy Slayton Award for extraordinary service, commitment, and support to Tulane University and its student athletes. Ken, it's very well deserved. Congratulations, my friend. It was awesome to see you on my wife's Facebook, and there you are right there on the screen. Great job, great commitment, and it's great to have you back here at Tulane University.
Listen, I'm both honored and humbled to be in that elite group, and many people who are on this broadcast today working in the truck behind the scenes, like Lenny Van Gilder, who nominated me for that award, Walter Volpatti. Very special that they were all part of it. Walter Volpatti spending lots of time with us on coaches' shows through the years. And by the way, it's Walter's birthday today. Walter Volpatti, happy birthday from us in the booth and from everybody on the broadcast, camera guys out in the field, and we appreciate it. Hope you're having a real good time down in the truck, but it's a real honor, and this place is always a very close part of my heart and part of me, and it's something that means an awful lot.
Well, congratulations. Very well deserved.
Thank you very much. Let's play some football in the second half, and you guys caught me by surprise. So y'all fooled me. How Lenny Van Gilder kept that from me, I don't know.
There you go.
But, wow, and he got me, and all he told me all we were doing was playing a happy birthday song for Walter Volpatti down in the truck, our director. He did. He did. He got us. Thank you, Leinster. Appreciate that very much. We're ready for some football. St. Charles Catholic leading by an extra point, and again, goes to show what a good football team they are, having 2 turnovers in the first half and still holding on to this 7-6 lead. Philip Tran coming down to him. That's who they want to get that football because he's a good running back, but he runs into a pile of maroon jerseys and just pushes past the 30-yard line to the 31. And Shamar Keelan, who got that interception for the Cavaliers in the first half, he's forced that turnover, but the Cavaliers couldn't take advantage of it. He's there to make the stop.
You know, Ken, St. Charles Catholic didn't come out again after the first quarter in their 2 tight end set. I really thought that was a great move by Frank Monica to put pressure on that defensive front of De La Salle to do that. I'm going to see if they're going to do that here in the second half, come out in 2 tight end sets.
And after this play, also talk about any adjustments and what these 2 coaches in this heavyweight battle here may have done and talked about at halftime. After the fake, it'll be a keeper by Justin Dumas, and he'll go straight ahead. Joseph Husband with the low tackle, but Dumas falls forward to the 40-yard line, 1 yard short of the first down.
Read option right there. It's reading the outside linebacker. If he goes with the fake across the formation, then Dumas is going to pull the ball, follow the wrapping guard up on the linebacker on the quarterback ISO, and he had nice running room right there. The linebacker went, he pulled the ball. Nice pickup, sets up second and short. This is the way the Comet offense wants to operate, be in these second and short situations.
Dumas work under center. Oh, he stumbles and still finds a way to hand the ball off to Chiarella, who goes through the line for the first down. That's making something out of what could have been a disaster, and it could have been 3rd and about 4 or 5.
Chiarella coming off of an ankle injury from last week. Didn't play. Comes back tonight. He's been averaging 4.9 yards a carry for the St. Charles offense. Does a nice job right there running into the back of his offensive lineman, but he bounces off and finds running room out the back door of the Comet offense.
What kind of talent do you have when you can be stumbling backwards and still have the presence of mind to get rid of the ball, make a play, and move the chains to keep a drive alive? Wow, 44-yard line, 1st and 10. St. Charles Catholic. Good fake by Dumas, and everybody bid on it. And Dumas has room and turtles over a tackler and is finally pulled down from behind near the 30-yard line. Theodore Tyler finally got him down, but my goodness, he hurdled over a tackler that would have brought him down near the 40-yard line.
That's the type of athlete Dumas is. Watch this. He comes out the back door on the zone read. Look at the hurdle right here. You know, back in the old days in Federation football, that used to be a penalty, but not anymore. That's just the athletic ability of Dumas right there, doing a great job. That's what he does. That's why Frank has him at quarterback. He makes athletic plays like that. He's not a thrower, but he's a go-getter.
Went right over Jacoby Hankton on the leap, and now they're down at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Dumas will keep, and there's that little bitty toss, and this one will go for some extra yards. Taylor Miller run out of bounds finally by Jacoby Hankton.
Run pass option. We saw it in the first half right there. Read the outside linebacker, strong safety. If he comes inside on the run, he's going to pull the ball, Dumas that is going to throw the ball out to the wide receiver that's out there on the boundary. Really, it's triple option.
Well, we have a late flag.
Got unsportsmanlike conduct against the Comets. They're going to bring that back. That's going to be dead ball.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it either. That just hurts. But getting back to that little play, that RPO again, that's really triple option football. You know, the quarterback's got to make a read, then he has the option to keep it or pass it. So read 1, keep 2, pass 3. It's triple option football.
And it's working well on this series for the St. Charles Catholic Comets. They were down around the 20-yard line, the edge of the red zone, maybe just inside of it. They're 15 yards further away at the 35 now. Still first down. Here comes the play from the sideline. Kendall Harris, the wide receiver, bringing it in as Askia or Mott jogs off. They'll go with 4 wideouts, 3 to the bottom of your screen. But the Comets keep it on the ground. Chiarella. And slow to get up is Ashton Robinson. Boy, that was a collision.
Jude Milford also comes in there from his outside linebacker position, does a nice job. Just couldn't get out on the edge that time. Chiarella couldn't. Milford's right there waiting for him, as well as a few other the Cavaliers. Great pursuit, inside out by De La Salle. That's the way you pursue to the ball. That's good team defense.
One thing that I think, and we didn't really get a good look at, is time of possession, because I know in the second quarter, St. Charles Catholic held that football for a long time. Here's Keenan Goff cutting back inside, stood up and shoved back at the 30-yard line by Theodore Tyler, the big senior.
Theodore Tyler, I tell you what, he's the tackle leader for these Cavaliers. This guy, 6'2", 245.
Look at
he's
him.
a big man now. Tell you what, he gets after it in the weight room, and he can pursue the ball. He is going to be a college prospect, and he's going to be a fine football player at the next level.
Had 2 sacks, 6 tackles for loss.
Oh, he's got room to grow in that frame. He can carry 260 easy and still run as well as he does at 245.
Yeah, one of the tackle leaders, too. 3rd down short. They're going to snap it in the Wildcat to Chiarella, and Chiarella's hit before he can get to the 25-yard line. This is going to be close. Jude Milford, did he make the stop in time? No, he didn't. First down, St. Charles Catholic.
Forward lean, right. Forward lean right there.
Yeah.
Kid picks up the extra inch or 2 to get the first down. That's a mark of a fine running back. You're trying to pick up that extra yardage. You can't get knocked backwards. You got to get your pad level down, and you've got to have some sort of, low man win mentality.
Jude Milford firing up Ashton Robinson because they thought they had him that time, and just picking up the spirits of this defense. It's one of these long, sustained drives, 4 minutes so far for St. Charles Catholic in this second half. And look at Dumas. Look at the little move to the outside. And then he tries with an inside move and is brought down by Joseph Husband right before he can pick up the first down.
Again, I don't think Dumas was looking to throw the ball there. They're running routes out there for him, but, he takes a glance and then he goes. He's a running back playing quarterback. He's an athlete playing quarterback, trying to make something happen with his athletic ability.
And look, these long, sustained drives keep the ball out of the hands of the Cavalier offense that is so very explosive in its own right.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, they're trying to make sure they eat up the clock. And if you got to give the ball back to that explosive running offense, you want to make sure it's with a little bit of time left on the clock.
Chiarella straight ahead. Oh, take that back. That's Phil Tran. And Nick Rader makes the tackle, and Tran just goes right up the middle to move the chains, and he does.
Tran averaging 5.5 yards a carry. Ken, this guy has 3 touchdowns on the year. He's a fine running back. It's like a two-headed monster between Tran and Chiarella. Which one's going to get the ball? They're going to eat up clock. They're going to just keep up eating up turf. And then you got to throw Dumas. You're right. Then you got to throw Dumas in there, who can also run the football.
Chiarella's your only senior. Tran's a junior. Goff is a sophomore. Lowry's a junior. And they got 3 freshmen who have loads of talent that you haven't seen. Now they go to Chiarella, and he'll take it down near the 10-yard line where Ashton Robinson stops him.
Counter play, pull the backside guard, backside tackle, or H-back leads up into the hole, and then they try to stick the ball up on the wrapping tight end or tackle that's pulling up into the hole to get to the linebacker.
They bring Philip Tran in from the sideline. He started this drive by taking the Cavalier second half kickoff. Let's see if they bring him in to try to finish it as they get near the goal line. It's second down. Nope, Tran won't get it. It's a keeper by Dumas. Dumas over the right side. Theodore Tyler with the tackle inside the 10-yard line. It'll bring up third down for St. Charles Catholic.
Dumas pulls the ball, follows his tight end, leading him up into the hole right there. That was a quarterback run all the way. There was no read off of that. He was just taking the ball. He was going to disconnect, and he was going to ram the ball up inside and pick up whatever he could. Great job right there by De La Salle being stingy down inside the red zone right now, making St. Charles earn everything that they're getting.
Well, they're going to have to be stingier on third down and short. Third down and 4 at the 8-yard line. Lots of room on the left side if he can turn the corner. Chiarella with the cut inside to the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown! Chiarella, Joe Chiarella. Jacoby Hankton hit him, but he fell into the end zone for the score.
Chiarella makes a great cut. Sticks that foot in the ground, plants, gets a 90-degree cut, gets straight up the field, vertically, and gets into the end zone. What a great cut by Chiarella.
And now an opportunity to go up by 8. If Cameron Fobb can convert the point after, De La Salle missed their extra point. A long clock-eating drive by St. Charles Catholic as the extra point is good. And the St. Charles Catholic Comets have taken a 14-6 lead over the De La Salle Cavaliers, and there's a little time to celebrate on the sideline as Chiarella takes it into the end zone.
Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team.
Well, how about a St. Charles Catholic drive that eats up 6 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock after they took the second half opening kickoff. They go 70 yards, 12 plays, and then Chiarella takes it in on an 8-yard run. St. Charles Catholic had 8 first downs in the first half. They had 5 first downs on that opening second half drive alone. How about that?
Tailor-made. That's the way they want to do it. Make sure that they eat up clock and come away with points.
So the Cavaliers have one get away from them. Goes through the end zone, through the hands, and that one's coming out. Montrell Johnson, I think, would have liked to run it out, but he couldn't hold it.
Question is how is De La Salle going to answer off of this? Again, they've got to try to get some big plays going here. They're struggling throwing the ball. Okay, let's just put it bluntly. They can't throw the football. So what do they got to do? They've got to make some decisions here. How are they going to put some pressure on that St. Charles defense? I think they're going to have to get back outside on the flank because they can't run between the tackles against that big defensive front of the Comets.
Think of this. You come out of the halftime locker room, you're ready to play, and you don't get the ball back till 5 minutes and 11 seconds are left in the third quarter. And there's was not a lateral. It's an incomplete pass intended for Ivan Paz on the far side. But, I mean, think of that. You come out, you're fired up, you're ready to play, and the other team takes the ball and eats up 6 minutes and 49 seconds. You finally get on the field. There's 5:11 to play in the third quarter.
Well,
and you're down by 8 now.
Well, that can demoralize you, but that's
Absolutely.
the reason. That's the reason why they're going to have to answer right now. And they're
Yes.
starting back. You know, they try a little pass right there, try to get something going to get the ball out into their athletes' hands, out on the flank, outside, where they have speed and their athletic talent can match up better with that St. Charles Catholic defense.
Question for you, Wade. Do they have to go? Does the Cavaliers have to go vertical more?
Well, I don't think they can go vertical. They can't throw the ball vertical. So I think that's out of the question. I mean, they can't do it. You can't go vertical if you can't throw the ball vertical.
Fisher Rojas is the quarterback. Next to him, Kendall Collins. He'll line up in the quarterback slot sometimes. He'll play the Wildcat position. He'll also get the fake on the handoff. Here's a little toss out to Kendrick, and Kendrick is brought down, but after a very short gain, not much on that one. And Mandel Eugene makes the stop.
You know, that's what they've got to do to throw the ball, because that's the only way they can throw the ball is off the little play action stuff. All right? They just can't step back and throw the ball 40, 50 yards down the field vertically.
Well, I hate to use this term and say this is an extremely important down this early, but it is, because right now the momentum has swung totally in the direction of the St. Charles Catholic Comets. And if the Cavaliers have to punt this away right now, their defense is going to really have to step up. Let's see. Oh, they try the handoff. Nowhere to go. And Prejean just stuffs Reshawn Porter, who came into the game. He gets his first touch of the football tonight, and it just doesn't go anywhere. The junior tried to make something happen, and it imploded.
Well, there's a good look right there at the first down play off the little quick screen out there. But that little sweep or speed sweep that they just try to run, they ran it into the numbers of the St. Charles defense. They needed to actually come back with it the other way. Only problem, it could have possibly been into the short side of the field. Sitting right out there with Cade Prejean, they ran right into his arms. He makes a nice tackle.
Tyler Mitchell, the punt. Oh, they fake. It's a fake and a big play. And the toss. And look at this.
I like it.
Cavaliers
I like
pull a
it.
trick out. My goodness. And they toss it.
I like it.
Devon Johnson. And that is one from the old trick bag that no one was expecting. And what a great fake by Tyler Mitchell, who went way up in the air like the ball was snapped over his head. And Johnson was wide open. My goodness.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Or was that Nakia Ely?
I'll tell you. Let me tell you this. It took a lot of guts for Ryan Manali to call that back deep in his end zone. But why do you practice it? To call it. All right? Don't practice it if you're not going to call it, because the kids will lose confidence in the play. And he called it, and kudos to Ryan Manali and his staff.
Yep, 28 got it. That's Nakia Ely, and wow, that's what the Cavaliers needed, and that swings the momentum right back to them. My goodness. Watch it again. There's the fake.
They snap it to the up back end right there. You see the receiver wide open, nobody on him. Number 21, Devon Johnson,
it was
wide open, and that's a splash play, Ken.
That's a splash play.
Uh-oh, that's backwards.
That's a lateral. That's a lateral, and it's jumped up and covered very, very well. Hackett all over it.
Well, again, you practice those sort of things for the right situation. But if you don't ever call them in a game, the kids lose trust in why you're putting things into the game plan. You got to call them. And Ryan Manali and his staff, I'll again say kudos to those guys for making that call. Look at this, empty formation.
All right, Deontay LeBranch couldn't handle the last one. This time they'll throw it back to Kendall Collins, and Collins down to the 32-yard line where Mandel Eugene makes the stop.
This has got to be 4-down territory right now. They're trying to get the ball out into their athletes' hands out
quick.
on the edge.
They're going quick. And look at this, 4 people, but he's going to go to the solo man out on the other side, and he can't get it down there, and a flag is thrown intended for Reshawn Porter. Covered by Cameron Campbell, and now another flag as Frank Monica out on the field?
No, that was one of the assistants out on the field, but the flag is going to go against Coach Monica.
Yes, it will. So now we've got 2 flags, and Scott Bode, the referee, is going to have to sort this out.
One's going to be live ball, the interference. One's going to be dead ball.
Yeah.
The dead ball is going to be for the coach being on the field, which is going to be already having had a sideline warning.
Frank Monica not happy with that at all. Get a good look at him there because they hit. There's your pass interference.
Right, there's your pass interference, and then there's the sideline violation. They already had a warning back in the first half. Even if you're an assistant, you're out on the sideline. Even if you're an assistant out on the sideline, you get a flag. The flag goes on the head coach. And it was a sideline violation on one of the St. Charles Catholic coaches being upset over the interference penalty.
So with both mark-offs, you've got 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Kendall Collins on the keeper, nowhere.
Nowhere to go.
Hit and stuffed by Nick Lorio.
Also, Bryce Onthemont coming downhill from his safety position into the box. We've been calling his name all night about how the safeties are getting involved in the run game, the run defense. Well, there's another good look at Bryce Onthemont coming down from his free safety position, getting into the box. No place on the quarterback counter for Rojas to go.
This time Collins takes the snap, and he'll go straight up the middle after the fake inside the 10 down to the 8. And now that's going to bring up 3rd down. Mandel Eugene shuts the door, and we're getting down again to, well, I don't know here. If you get down to 4th down, if you don't make it on 3rd down, are you thinking field goal, or are you thinking go for it on 4th down? Because, again, one thing St. Charles Catholic has done is they've been able to eat up a lot of clock with long drives. Collins on the keeper. Collins goes up the middle, spins into the line. He's not going to make it. He's brought down by Eli Ori, who then had help.
Now, you got to come away with points. So I think we're going to have to take 3. That's what I would do.
Well,
it's going to bring up the 4th
we'll have
quarter.
to wait because that's the
with
end of the 3rd
of
quarter of play. So at the end of 3, De La Salle, will they go for it? Will they bring the field goal unit out on the field? They trail 14-6. We'll be back to find out what's the decision in just a moment.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
Riverlands Insurance Services, a team of professional agents serving Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years, focused on planning, implementing quality with personalized insurance.
The strength of our company is our core of over 90 professionals specializing in the everyday needs of family to the complex world of business and risk management.
Cost-effective insurance planning is how we help our families and our businesses every day. We don't wait for a disaster, we prepare for them.
Count on Riverlands Insurance Services.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
The Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series wraps up tomorrow afternoon with another showdown for the district lead. This time it's the Catholic League as the John Curtis Patriots meet the Rummel Raiders. Join us tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. live here on CST and on CrescentCitySports.com. Going to be a great one, as this one is right here at Yeoman Stadium tonight in 10-3A. My goodness, each team has had the ball one time in the third quarter, and in the third quarter, the De La Salle Cavaliers equaled their first down output of the entire first half. They had 3 first downs in the first half. They got 3 on this drive that they're going to finish up right here on fourth down. Remember, their field goal kicker, Blake Giacconi, has missed an extra point. He's missed a 35-yard field goal. They're going forward on fourth down. Kendall Collins, who was limping off the field at the end of the third quarter, will turn around. He will toss it to Kendrick, and Kendrick is stopped short of the goal line. He gave it a run to the 2. Did he get the first down? It's going to be very close. He got to the 2-yard line. It looks like it is going to be a first down and touchdown saving tackle by Luke Brower. My goodness.
Luke Brower makes a great play right there. Just ends up a little bit short. I like the call. Tight end throwback. Great play, just a little short.
We'll take a break and come back. St. Charles Catholic on a big stop. They've got the ball at their own 2-yard line when we come back. At Yeoman Stadium, the St. Charles Catholic team, they just got the biggest stop of the game, and it came from Luke Brower, number 29, who might be the defensive player of the game for St. Charles Catholic. If this score holds up and this lead holds up, we are in the fourth quarter of play. Each team had it one possession in the third quarter. That's how long the drives were. St. Charles scored on theirs. The Cavaliers got down, did not kick the field goal. They went for it, and the big stop by Brower and the St. Charles Catholic team. They'll take their time. They will be careful and do nothing but give it to Chiarella and let him run left and pick up a little breathing room. Joe Husband makes the stop on him as he gets out to the 7-yard line, a gain of 5, or maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 4.
I think Chiarella just rolled that ankle again. He was out last week because of a hurt ankle. They didn't play him, and he's back tonight, and I think he might have hurt it again.
Frank Monaco loaded with some good backs, too. Chiarella, the senior, but Tran, Goff, Lowry, then he's got some freshmen just like the Cavaliers do. He's loaded for the next few years. And he'll give this to Tran, who's run down from behind, spun down, and dropped. Ashton Robinson, where did he come from? Just blazing through the offense to make the tackle.
Does a nice job getting off the block. Ashton Robinson plays off the block and chases down the running back for a nice loss right there. Trying to run the outside zone stretch. St. Charles it was. Trying to get outside on the edge. Just couldn't get out on the edge with the speed of De La Salle.
Look, if you're the Cavaliers right now, you're asking your defense, get it back.
Well, you have to.
Get it, but you got to stop them and get it back,
it-
because they had a long 6-minute, 49-second drive to start the second half. This is only the second offensive possession in the second half for St. Charles Catholic. Going to give it away to Keenan Goff. Goff goes wide. Goff spun down. He will not make the first down. Ashton Robinson again taking the defense on his shoulders for the Cavaliers and making the tackle.
Ashton Robinson does a nice job again chasing him down. He's a little hurt. He's holding his elbow right there. He's on the ground, holding that wrist, holding that elbow. But yeah, it's hard to get outside on this De La Salle defense. These guys are so athletic on the edge, so athletic at their linebacker position, and it's just hard to get outside with that team speed.
Looking for a place to stop after the game? Check out the Flag Stick in Clearview Mall next to Walk-Ons. Be sure to ask about the Flag Stick's exclusive membership program. Call 504-510-5577 or check them out online at theflagstickgolf.com. That again is the theflagstickgolf.com. Tell you what, I always talk about something that's not on the card that we read for the Flag Stick, and that is the great food. And if you know when Wade Kaiser is going out to hit some golf balls out there and you'd like to sit down and enjoy maybe a little burger or something, watch him slice to the right, hook to the left.
Well, I go out to eat there. I don't go out to hit the golf balls, man.
Makes your meal go down just a little bit better. Hey, look, we talked about the De La Salle defense having to come through and get the stop. They have. They've come through. They've gotten the stop. And now Nick Lorio's got to punt the ball away. All right, they're going to take a break, talk about things. We're going to take the break here also. St. Charles has to punt it away when we come back.
Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
Smile, guys. Plane! My camera.
Anyone else feel a bit hot?
No worries, ladies. Got the shot.
Is my hair okay?
This is a great shot.
We're getting this sweating off on the right track.
Ryan Manali knows his defense just stepped up and did something huge on the stop, forcing Lorio to punt away for St. Charles Catholic. And Kendall Collins is back at the 35-yard line. He is not the usual punt returner. And this one is shanked off the left side of the foot, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. My goodness. If you're a football fan in Southeast Louisiana, check out the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club Luncheon each Tuesday at noon at Rock and Bowl on South Carrollton Avenue in New Orleans. Hear from great speakers each week on pro, college, and prep football. That's the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club Luncheons each Tuesday at noon. And they're good. Coach Ogeron, during the open week, came there last week, and it was a packed house. 20-yard punt by Lorio gives De La Salle's offense a chance to make something happen special. They're on almost the edge of the red zone. They get it at the 23-yard line of St. Charles Catholic. Snap to Rojas. Flags are thrown. Rojas instead of Collins taking the snaps at the quarterback slot. And we've got flags at two different positions on the field as Reggie Hackett makes the tackle.
Yeah, the illegal procedure. What happened is the motion back possibly broke towards the line of scrimmage, or the other call with the procedure is they didn't have 7 people on the line of scrimmage.
Ryan Manali knows you can't move backwards here. We've got to go forwards, he's telling his Cavaliers with 10 minutes to play in this game. Possessions, you have to get the most out of your possessions because the way these offenses are going, you're not getting many possessions in this second half. This is the second offensive possession for the Cavaliers. Haas is going to throw, and he throws it low, intended for Rishawn Porter. Now the two hooked up. They've got great chemistry between them, and they hooked up against Lusher. So Rishawn Porter, again, as good as the chemistry is between he and your quarterback, it's not working right now. So it's second down and long behind the chains. 15 to go. Collins will work it at the quarterback slot. He'll hand it off to Rishawn Porter. Coming wide, breaks one tackle, turns the corner. Rishawn Porter knocked out of bounds by Josh Tomplane.
Bryce Altamont comes downhill again from his safety position.
Flag.
Just misses the tackle on the jet sweep by De La Salle. That's one of the few tackles I've seen him miss tonight. Rishawn Porter does a nice job getting outside on that.
Oh, wow, the Cavaliers have really hurt themselves with penalties on this offensive possession.
And the bad thing about a holding penalty, it's a spot foul, so it's going to come 10 yards from wherever the spot is, and it could end up being a big number of yards if going to move the ball back.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to break somewhere about 2nd and 15, I believe. You know, that's right. Right. It's a spot foul, and that's one of those things. It was 10 yards downfield. So
Rojas to throw, and he gets his man downfield, and that is going to be very close. And I think he's got the first down. Nick Lorio on the stop, but not until a big catch made by Juno.
That was Jacques Juno with a great route right there, came open. I tell you what, that's one of the finer passes I've seen Rojas throw. Right on the target to a wide open Juno for a huge pickup for the Cavaliers.
Kendall Collins and Montrell Johnson looking over at the bench, talking things over. Play is called. They've moved the chains. They've got the first down. Keeper, Collins. Left inside the 10. Cavaliers playing with a sense of purpose here as time is of the essence. Tomplane again makes the tackle.
What have you noticed that De La Salle is doing when they move the ball? They're getting outside on the flank. Here's a great job on the counter right there off the read. Getting outside. That's where they're finding their running room.
Collins
again,
on outside. The keeper again. Collins at the goal. Collins into the end zone. Touchdown, Kendall Collins. Cavaliers stepped it up a little bit, picked up the pace. They've got to go for two. They don't have to, but I think they will. It's a 14-12 game. Missed extra point after the first De La Salle Cavalier touchdown.
Here's a good look at it right here. Watch Kendall Collins off the zone read action. He gets outside of the tackles. That's where the running room is. That's what I've just said. You can't run inside the tackles. They've got to run outside. That's where they have been making their yardage all night. Right there is another perfect example. Kendall Collins gets them on the board. Now they're going to have to go for two.
Rojas in at quarterback. Rojas with the fake. He'll toss it left side to Johnson. Johnson stuffed at the 5-yard line. No good. Bryce Audemars.
Big play, Bryce Audemars coming downhill. I like Bryce Audemars. This guy's a good football player. He fills the alley. He's all over the place playing the run for St. Charles Catholic.
Kendall Collins was not in on the extra point, the 2-point try. It's still a 2-point game, 14-12 St. Charles Catholic.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
For more than half a century, Gills Bar has offered services, solutions, and support for businesses and associations looking for happier constituents and healthier bottom lines. To learn more on how Gills Bar can help your business, visit gillsbar.com.
Well, Kendo Collins got the Cavalier fans their touchdown, but the St. Charles Catholic fans who you're looking at right there, they're excited because their defense stopped the Cavaliers on the two-point conversion. Kendo Collins, who's been the explosive playmaker, I don't think he was in on the two-point try, and I'm wondering if he came limping off the field at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, and I wonder if maybe on that play he re-injured or turned an ankle. We'll have to see when the Cavaliers get back on offense, and maybe we can look at that play again just to check it out.
Well, and let me say this. You know, every coach has a set of two-point plays they go into a game with, and they practice them all week long. He might have not have been a part of that particular set of package that he had on the field with personnel for that two-point play.
This is offsides on the kickoff for De La Salle, so they blew it dead. They're going to kick it again. They put that ball in the hands of the good return of Phil Tran. Let's take another look at the two-point try after the 6-yard run by Kendall Collins. And see, this is, again, Fisher Rojas tossing it out to Montrell Johnson, who's got all the talent in the world. I just wonder where Kendall Collins was on that play.
Well, like I said, he might have not been part of that grouping that was on the field. Depending on what they're going into the game with two-point plays, sometimes your packages are what you need to line up with in I guess you would say in adverse to what you're getting from the defense, knowing what you've looked at all week on film. So, sure. Do we up here believe that they should have had the ball in number one's hands? Absolutely. Down there, what did they practice all week and what groupings of personnel did they go on the field with, because they know what St. Charles Catholic is going to line up inside the 2-yard line.
Now, this is Evan Russo, who's shaken up for St. Charles Catholic, but he is up and your new home for the latest sports news in Southeast Louisiana is CrescentCitySports.com. Crescent City Sports offers unique features and opinions from a team of local writers, plus live web streams of high school games and Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard. It's sponsored by the All-State Sugar Bowl, and it's all at CrescentCitySports.com. Tell you what, we're watching it sometimes during the commercial breaks here just to see what's going on around the state.
Well, they're the finest group in the state of Louisiana to set up all of the scores.
Now they're going to keep it out of the hands of Philip Tran this time, but they put it in the hands of Chiarelli, who evidently is okay because he had gone off limping prior to that. And he is brought down very quickly by Joseph Husband.
Joseph Husband's fine football player.
We've called his name a lot tonight.
Right, he covers kicks. He plays free safety, strong safety. He's all over the field. This guy's a good football player.
Now the Comets have a 2-point lead, and I think what Frank Monaco would like to have right now is one of those long 6-7 minute clock-eating drives that would give him an opportunity to put some points on the board and put some icing on the cake. The De La Salle Cavalier defense thinking just the opposite. They've got to force a turnover, and they were coming hard that time at Justin Dumas, and he was belted into by Shamar Keelan as he unloaded that pass, and he had to unload quickly.
Well, they run the bootleg. He comes out of the bootleg fake, and right there he gets to say hello to Shamar Keelan, who does a great job putting the wood to Justin Dumas. Nice hit. Great hit. I like that.
Tell you what, they put a man on Justin Dumas that time to try to keep him in check. He's got Chiarelli next to him, Dumas, and he'll float one out to Chiarella. And he's brought down by Quincy Thomas after gaining just a few, and that brings up a big 3rd down and 5 for St. Charles Catholic.
Again, if you can't throw the ball vertically, it's how you're going to throw the football. They clear out everything underneath, and they swing Chiarella out into the flats and dump the ball out there and let him run. You know, it's a nice play scheme. It's a nice setup. It's nice execution. That's the way you move the football. Sets up a 3rd manageable for the Comets.
Cavaliers urging their crowd, their supporters here at Yeoman Stadium on the Tulane campus to make some noise, get behind the defense. Here comes St. Charles Catholic. Dumas in the gun. Tran floats out, and his pass is knocked down. My goodness. Wow. That was Jamarin Peterson.
Jamarin Peterson, all 6'2", 210, gets them big claws up and bats that ball down. Big play right there. Big play for the Cavaliers.
You get that big bear claw up and you can get a hand on it like that. It looked like Dumas was looking, what happened?
The only bear claw I eat is try to eat it in the morning. Look
Wow.
at this guy trying to get this paw up right here. Not really a good job by the offensive tackle, setting him and stoning him right there at the spot. So what happens? Jamarian Peterson is taught real well when you get stoned and stop, get up in the air and bat everything down. That's what he did. Great play right there by Peterson.
So Lorio will punt it away with 7:34 to go in the game and gets a nice one. Kendall Collins watches it take a De La Salle bounce and gives the Cavaliers 4 extra yards on that as it's down at the 39-yard line. We'll take a break. The De La Salle Cavalier offense, can they get on track with the final 7:24? We'll find out. Early on, we touched on the standings in this league, the significance of this game. De La Salle and St. Charles Catholic tied in 10-3A.
This is for the district championship in 10-3A. That's what it's all about right here. And then I also talked about the power rating system and the power points you're going to get out of this win, whoever comes out on top tonight.
Collins on a great fake to Johnson, keeps, but is brought down by Bryce Audemars.
There's
Gains 2.
Right. There's that name again, Bryce Audemars. That guy's been all around the ball tonight.
A senior.
If De La Salle had any way that they could run play action and run a post route off of play action, that would burn Audemars. Audemars is flying down inside so hard. Every time there's a handoff, running some sort of post route behind him would probably light up that scoreboard for De La Salle.
Well, they've got Ivan Paz at the top of the screen, but they're going to keep it on the ground. Kendall Collins on the keeper. He's pushing, trying to fight his way to the 45. Guess who? Bryce Audemars.
Audemars there to make the first
charge.
Audemars there's to make the first contact, but then a lot of white jerseys. Trademark of a really good defense, you know. St. Charles Catholic has only given up 10.2 points so far this year. You know, they only gave up 6 points in the last 3 games.
Well, now we're looking at a big 3rd down for the Cavaliers. We're nearing the halfway mark of the 4th quarter. Ryan Manali signaling in to Montrell Johnson and Kendall Collins, who will take the snap. Here's Collins, fakes it out there, keeps it, looking for room, finds the hole, and is shoestring tackled by Cade Prejean as he falls forward right by the first down marker. Let's see what happens. Where will they spot it? Yep, the official, the linesman is saying first down. It is a first down. De La Salle Cavaliers by the hair on his chin, or this time his shoestring.
He would have been gone if it wasn't for that shoestring tackle.
First down, handoff, Montrell Johnson swinging outside, turns the corner, has Lorio chasing him, and he's finally pushed out of bounds by Lorio after he gets a big gain and a first down again.
Again, words De La Salle attacking. Finally, they go in at halftime, and they realize that we're not knocking anybody off the ball inside the tackles. They're going to attack it outside the tackles. That's where the running room is. They're getting some success out there with their athletic speed.
Stepped out of bounds at the 37-yard line of St. Charles Catholic. 1st and 10. Collins on the keeper. Inside the 35. Kate Prejean on the stop. Pair of Kendalls here. Kendall Collins, Kendall Baker, both of them good. Kendall Collins is hurt. Remember, way back at the end of the third quarter, he limped off a little bit. I don't think he was on the field because he might have re-injured whatever was bothering him on that two-point conversion play. Maybe not. Maybe it was just personnel, like Wade says, but he seems to be okay.
Looks like something with his left ankle, knee, hip, left leg, limping off. You know, this guy's such a competitor. He's going to walk over and take one play off, and then he's going to get back in there. I mean, he right now, he wants to be a part of this.
Well, without him, Fisher Rojas comes back in at quarterback, the junior, as Kendall Baker in the backfield with him, along with Montrell Johnson. The give to Montrell Johnson. Johnson sees the hole, cuts into it. He's down inside the 30. Luke Brower makes the tackle close to a first down, and he made it. First down, De La Salle.
What a burst on the sweep. Puts the foot in the ground, cuts 90 degrees, gets his shoulder pads north and south. What a burst.
St. Charles Catholic wants a timeout. Regroup the troops and see if they can find a way to stop the Cavaliers, who are moving on this offensive possession, but they trail by 2. 4:58 to play in this game. Back in a moment.
Riverlands Insurance Services, a team of professional agents serving Southeast Louisiana for over 40 years, focused on planning, implementing quality with personalized insurance.
The strength of our company is our core of over 90 professionals specializing in the everyday needs of family to the complex world of business and risk management.
Cost-effective insurance planning is how we help our families and our businesses every day. We don't wait for a disaster, we prepare for them.
Count on Riverlands Insurance Services.
Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team.
Now there's Collins, and he seems to have shaken it off, and maybe he's okay, not ready to come back in yet. But one question is, I think the Cavaliers offensively have found a way to work around the disruptor, Mason Northeast, because they're going way outside. Montrell Johnson has been outstanding tonight, too. All right, here we get the give to Johnson. Johnson comes left. Luke Brower with the tackle, but the Cavaliers have the momentum. It is swung in their direction.
Now, De La Salle's got to find a way to put a body on number 7, Altamont. He keeps running downhill into that alley. It's going to keep them from getting into the end zone. They're picking up chunks and chunks. He's the guy keeping them from
Kendall
getting where they got to
Collins
be.
is not in there, but right now, Fisher Rojas is just handing to Montrell Johnson, and he's carrying the load. Mandel Eugene on the tackle, and that's another first down for the Cavaliers. As you said.
Well, it's outside. It's where it is. That's where the pay money is. That's where the payday is. They got to get outside of that big defensive line, and that's what they've done. They found it. They've just got to find a way to crack down on those safeties and those linebackers in order to keep them from filling the alley.
Rojas still in for Kendall Collins, and he'll give to Johnson. Mandel Eugene once again.
It's not there.
Down to the 10-yard line. Not in the middle, as you said.
It's
they
not
tried
there.
It.
It's not there.
It's not in the middle. Who's coming back into the game now? You don't see it on the camera, but watch him. There he is, number 1 on the right-hand side of your screen. Kendall Collins is back in.
I told you that guy wouldn't be out long.
And you were right.
I mean, he's a competitor. I mean, barring a broken leg or something bad, he's in there. He's going to play.
And next to him, the athlete, Montrell Johnson. Johnson, he'll take the handoff and boom, runs into the arms of Bryce Audemars. Tries to work his way inside the 10. They went outside. They avoid Narcisse, but they can't avoid Audemars on the outside.
They've got to do something about the free safety. They've got to get a body on him. They've got to be able to crack down on him, do something to keep him out of the alley. That's what's keeping him from getting in the end zone.
3rd down and 6 is this 4-down territory with the kicking game struggling. Remember, they missed an extra point. They missed a 35-yard field goal, but they went for 2 after the last touchdown because of that and missed that without Kendall Collins being in the game for that play.
Well, I don't get paid the big money anymore, all right?
Anymore.
I can make that call up here easy. Look who makes the tackle.
Oh, my goodness.
Look who makes the tackle.
Toss it out there, and the tackle is by Reggie Hackett. He had some help, and they went right with it to Byron Phillips, who hasn't had many touches in this game.
Well, it looks like they're going to kick the 3. You
got to trust your kicker.
Right, yeah. I mean, I would kick the 3. It's easy for us to make that call up here. It's harder for him to make it down here, but I tell you what, if you trust your kicker, you've put him in these type of situations in practice all the time, you kick the 3. But, going back to that just previous play on 3rd down, a lot of St. Charles Catholic jerseys were around that ball, but the number 1 jersey that was there was number 7, coming downhill again. Nobody got a body on that guy running outside.
Well, 4th down, and this field goal will be a lot closer than that 35. And again, Giacone has 35-yard range, so he's got a long of 35 in this game. But here comes your 4th down play. And I think they changed their mind. This is not the field goal unit coming out.
Yes, it is. There's number 5 right
there.
Yeah,
it is.
Giacone.
That's right. There's Giacone. He missed to the left on the 35-yarder. This is a 26-yarder. Collins is the holder if they're going to go for a fake. They trail by 2. It's down. It's kicked up. It is no good. He missed it left again. He missed from 26.
Got to look at the timeout situation now for both teams. De La Salle has 2, can basically get the ball back. St. Charles Catholic has 1.
He's upset with himself, and I feel bad for that young man because he just drive it left. You're right. You have to move on.
Look, you got to move on. You got 2:29 left, 2 timeouts. You can possibly get the ball back. You should get the ball back if you get the stop here.
This is still an excellent De La Salle Cavalier defense.
St. Charles Catholic's got to think about getting first downs, making De La Salle spin their timeouts, and then they can run it out with 2:29 left on the clock.
Absolutely, and as good as this De La Salle defense is, this St. Charles Catholic offense is just as good, so let's see what happens. They will go right up the middle with Chiarella on 1st down, and as you said, if they're going to do nothing else, they might just force De La Salle to use the timeouts, and the Cavaliers take the first one. Right there, they had 2 remaining. They got one remaining now. They had 2 when they called that timeout.
Correct.
Jude Milford made the tackle.
They've got 1 remaining right there. That's a good timeout by Ryan Manali taking that. All right, and they're going to have to spin that timeout again.
Chiarella turned that ankle again or whatever, or maybe he's cramping.
Now it looks like cramp, correct. They're holding that toe back. He's probably cramping in his calf.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been such a great game, and we've got a good one tomorrow. We've got a great one tomorrow. The Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series wraps up tomorrow afternoon with another showdown for the district lead. This time it's the Catholic League as John Curtis meets Rummel at Yenny Stadium tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. live right here on CST on the CrescentCitySports.com. You can watch it there, and it's the Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series. Lots of fun. And this is like Christmas. Big game on Friday night, big game on Saturday afternoon. In a couple of weeks, we'll be down in Thibodaux to do Nichols and Stephen F. Austin. The give, Tran, flags fly. And this could be in the area of holding. So it'll stop the clock without the Cavaliers having to use a timeout.
That's a gift for De La Salle.
Yeah.
It'll remain second down, take the yardage, take the clock.
And try to force something defensively. That's what the St. Charles Catholic offense has to be very careful about. You know the defense is going to try to punch the ball out, force the turnover. They're going to keep it on the ground. Let's see what happens on second down and forever.
De La Salle can't go to sleep here. This is the area where Frank will take one and chunk it deep just to try to catch you off guard right here. Yeah. So De La Salle's got to stay awake right here. Can't give up the cheap one. They've worked to get into this situation. They've got to play for at least 2 downs here. Second down, third down, and force them to punt the football. Don't go to sleep.
Second and almost 19. You can be lured to sleep easily on this if you're not careful. Well,
I think we got a timeout, Comets.
Timeout, Comets. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Look at this. Frank Monica is just going at it with one of the officials, and the referee has to come make sure he gets in between them. Scott Baudet, the white hat, on this. But Frank Monica is making a point that he came out on the field to stop everything. And what he might be talking about is the scoreboard showed a timeout remaining for St. Charles Catholic. And now they have none. I can't see Frank Monica getting that upset about whether he's got a timeout remaining or not. So that can't be it.
And it could have also had something to do with the play clock, but whatever, he was hot. And, his son Ty Monica down there pulling him by the belt loop to get him back. And
that used to be your job, huh?
Yes, it was. It was my job. That was hard now. I was a young coach. I still had hair.
That's why you don't have any hair anymore. When Wade was on the staff of Frank Monica, one of his roles was to, if Frank goes crazy, just pull him back.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He said, hey, you get me back. That's exactly what he told me. You get me back. And look, he's still going after him.
Well, Baudet runs over, so he must have at least a legitimate enough beef that it deserves an explanation from the referee. And that's what Scott Baudet is doing. He's the referee in this game, and he is making sure that everybody on that St. Charles Catholic side is understanding what it's all about. And Frank is adamant. Where's our lip reader?
Well, I can't read the lips. All I know is he's hot about something. He wants that clock to run now. He's ready to roll, and
well, maybe that, yeah. Maybe he thought the clock should have begun.
Well, I think that could have been a part of the argument also.
I think so. So here we go, second down and 18 at the 13-yard line with 2:16 to play. And they're just trying to run the clock out. Keenan Goff nowhere, and flags are thrown again. It's going to stop the clock. Ashton Robinson with the stop. Face mask, I believe. Yep. This will be
it'll be a 5-yard face mask, not a automatic first down personal foul. So, I mean, in high school football, there's nothing more anymore that's an automatic first down, hardly. Okay, but there's the difference between the 15-yard variety of the face mask or the 5-yard variety, which was an incidental face mask, and that's what we just had.
Now there's Ryan Manali.
You know, looking back at Frank's argument over there, I think he could have been arguing when the clock should have been started.
Yes. Game clock, not play clock.
Right,
game clock.
And that could have been his argument, that he was saying that the clock should have been rolling.
After the penalties, it's still 2nd down and 15. They're going straight ahead with Goff again. Milford made the initial hit.
De La Salle takes their last timeout.
So the Cavaliers have no more timeouts remaining. Matter of fact, neither team has a timeout remaining. So it's going to be fun in the final 2:06. St. Charles Catholic has the advantage because they are up by 2. A missed extra point on the first touchdown for De La Salle, and then a missed 2-point conversion after the second touchdown. So basically here for St. Charles Catholic, Wade, if you're talking to your team, you're telling them, make a first down. If we make a first down, it's over.
Well,
we can run the clock out.
Yeah, I mean, it's get the first down, it's over. We kneel it out.
We kneel it out. Victory formation to the end.
It's 3rd and 13, though, with limited throwing ability. You want to make sure you don't make a mistake right here. So he's going to go to his play sheet, and he's going to call his best 3rd and long shot that he's got. And I don't see him taking some sort of chance where he puts the ball in the air here. You know, I could have seen it back on the 2nd down after the penalty, a few plays back, but not right here. He's going to make sure that he plays the ball safe and doesn't put the ball on the ground.
Now you put the ball in the hands of your best athlete, Justin Dumas. Let him keep it, and he runs and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. And I don't think that's what Frank would have wanted him to do. Shamar Keelan with a little push. That'll stop the clock with exactly 2 minutes.
You know, the coaching staff over at St. Charles Catholic is a little befuddled. Why did he run out of bounds?
Hustle, just a hustle play.
Well,
got caught up in the moment.
You go down. You make sure you go down. You don't go out of bounds. You fall down in bounds. He's, Frank had a look on his face of befuddlement. I guess, is that a word, befuddlement, Ken?
Yes, it is now.
It is now. I don't know if that's one of those ACT words or not.
Lorio got a 29-yard punt last time out. Kendall Collins is back to receive it. It'll be short, but get the job done, and gets a great St. Charles Catholic bounce past
you gotta
the 50,
catch that.
Inside the 40.
You got to catch that.
All the way down to the 36-yard line. He got about a 15 to 20-yard roll to back the Cavaliers up with 1:49 to play.
Somebody needs to rip him. He's got to catch that ball. You fair catch that ball right now. Make sure that's exactly what needs to be told to that returner. Make sure you get that arm up and fair catch the ball. Make sure it doesn't hit the ground. You see the result on it.
44-yard punt, but he got 20 on the roll. So you're right. A fair catch. You're 24 yards further up the field. And, wow, what a turn of events. So Ryan Manali sends his offense out. They have 1 minute and 49 seconds to work with, and here we go. It's Fisher Rojas. Fisher Rojas looking. He's throwing. He's looking and throws behind the athlete Montrell Johnson. Kendall Collins was not in on that play.
Just off target with the pass. He struggled all night throwing the football. He's had some receivers there. He hit that one nice curl route back at the beginning of the fourth quarter, but just has struggled the rest of the night with receivers that are open.
Collins still on the sideline. So it's going to be Rojas and Montrell Johnson as the two keys in this cog. Rojas back to pass. Rojas to run, and he runs right into the arms of Mason Narcisse. Goes down. Fumble. St. Charles Catholic might have it. Officials say it's down. Officials say it is down. Wait a minute. Check it out.
Well,
untangle this pile.
It's we're not going to be able to tell from up here. We're going to have to see it on the replay to see whether he was down or not. But the ball's out on the ground. They're fighting for it. De La Salle player comes up with it.
Well, that's Noah Devlin, the left tackle.
But
he says, I got the ball. But
here we
what
go.
happened before
Let's
that?
take a good look and see what we've got. Nothing open. He takes off. Look how he's holding the ball. He's got it out in front of him, not tucked away, stripped out. Ooh, he's not out. That ball is out. That ball is out. Looked like 92 forced that ball out. Reggie Hackett for the Comets.
Yeah, Reggie Hackett forced
Let's take
it
a good
out.
look at it right here. He's holding the ball out in front of himself. Here comes Reggie Hackett. And
right.
That ball's out.
Yeah, that ball's out.
That ball is out. Holy smokes.
You hear some boos out there. It's because people are watching it on the stream. They're watching it on CrescentCitySports.com. They're watching what we're watching. They're watching the replay. Oh, he dropped the ball. Kendall Collins is back in. Collins will just dive forward at the 35-yard line. Josh Tomplate there. Now it's 4th down. They've got to at least get 12 to keep the ball in there. Under 1 minute to play. No timeouts remaining. Clock ticking. Under 50 now. Here comes your 4th down play. 4th and 12. Just a whole possession. And they've got to find a way to stop the clock if they get the first down. Rojas in trouble. Flags are thrown. Illegal procedure. It was called dead before the play. They might have to reset the clock if the clock kept running.
So they'll reset the clock. They're going to mark the ball off 5 yards for illegal procedure. They're going to have to throw the ball vertically. This is their Achilles heel right here.
4th and 17.
So what do you have to do for St. Charles Catholic? Ball's in the air, knock it down. Let's don't try to make some sort of impossible interception or anything else. Let's knock
Clock is
the
running
ball
again.
down. The minute they set
hey,
the ball,
De La
they're going
Salle's
to
just
clock the
standing
ball.
around. They've got to do
Right.
something.
The minute they're going to ball, the clock's going to run.
Look, they've lost 8 seconds, 9 seconds. Now they've got the ball in play, in trouble, and we've got whistles blowing the play dead. And there's your knockdown of the ball. St. Charles Catholic's defense knew exactly what to do, but with 15 seconds.
They'll back it up again, 5 yards, set the ball, roll the clock. They've got to have the play called. They've got to have their personnel on the field so they can at least Hail Mary it here.
Yeah, because De La Salle's moving the wrong way. Now it's going to be 4th and 22. The only reason I say 4th and 22, if they make the first down, stop the clock.
Clock's going to run the minute the ball's set. These are things you practice. This should be
9,
practiced
8,
all the time.
7. They're taking way too long. They might not get the snap off. They just got to hurry up. Down to 3 seconds. Rojas has got the snap. He'll run. And he's got to run it now. He's past the line of scrimmage. This has got to be a run all the way. All he can do is ladder it. Rojas trying to run, and here comes a late flag. Now remember, the game can't end on a defensive penalty as Reggie Hackett brings him down, but let's see what the flag is all about. Hold everything. If it's an offensive penalty, this one's done. If it's a defensive penalty, look out.
I believe it was offensive. Personal foul. Block in the back. Ball game.
That's it. This one's over. St. Charles Catholic knocks off the De La Salle Cavaliers 14-12 in a thriller here at Yulman Stadium to claim the top spot in District 10-3A. My goodness, these players, hard-fought battle, coaches shake hands. We will take a break and come back with our post-game show in just a moment.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com.
Around here, we like things local, very local. Get the home field advantage when buying or refinancing your home with the local mortgage lending experts. NOLA Lending Group, a division of Fidelity Bank. NOLA Lending, now the proud mortgage lender of your New Orleans Saints.
The Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by NOLA Lending Group, your home field advantage, by Riverlands Insurance, meeting all your insurance needs, by Louisiana Dental Center, your
Around
dental
here, we
home
like things
team,
local.
and by
Very.
Louisiana Operation Lifesaver. Remember, when you see Tranks, Think Train. Final score here, St. Charles Catholic 14, De La Salle 12. And we are joined by Coach Frank Monica. And Coach, congratulations on the win. Your comments, and then Wade Kaiser's got a couple of questions for you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, Coach, look, big win. I mean, no doubt about it. You know, the guy I'm really impressed with on your defense is Bryce Altamont, the free safety. He can really fill the alley, comes down, sure tackler. Tell me a little bit about that guy.
Well, Coach, I tell you, he's really our leader on the football team. He loves the game of football. He's also our deep snapper, and he loves to fill the alley. In fact, he might be overly aggressive sometimes because sometimes the play action sort of fools him a little bit.
Right.
But he's got that linebacker mentality playing free safety, and he's just been a great catalyst for us as far as getting our guys going. And which we needed that because we were worried about tonight. I didn't have any idea, what kind of energy we're going to come out with, and I think we did. I think we came out a little bit better energy. I didn't know how we were going to respond because I didn't feel like this football team responded the entire year. We got some issues that we got to correct on the offensive side of the ball, but our defense was pretty resilient. It's good to see the worm turn for a change. That they missed the field goal, a couple field goals there, and in our behalf. But I got to give credit to my coaching staff, and they worked extremely hard. And we're still not there yet. We're still not where we need to be. But I was just interested to see exactly if our team was going to respond tonight or not.
Well, I thought they responded great. I like offensively how you got the three running backs all working in there. And the Shirella kid reminds me of some of those old-time running backs that just takes a licking and keep on ticking. He's a fine athlete. I know he's your type of guy in that backfield, Coach. Great job tonight, and it was great to see you, and it was great to see the guys on your staff.
You bet. Guys, thank you so much for having us. This is a great venue, and De La Salle is a good football team, and the thing about this, we might see one another again the way this thing shakes down.
Right.
But
just got to find out where U High is going to be.
I think they're going to be in the SEC West. And they'll be favored.
There's no better way to congratulations, Frank. Thank you very much. There's no better way to close it than a Frank Monica-ism, and you guys gave us a great football game tonight.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. And my goodness, always fantastic to hear from Frank Monica, and even have a Frank Monica-ism to close it out because he said that about the Catholic League many times. It's the SEC West. But this was one great football game. And you know what? We saw two football teams try to rise to the occasion. Special teams hurt the Cavaliers tonight. But let's give it to St. Charles Catholic. They did what they had to do when they had to do it.
And look, take nothing away from De La Salle. Good football team. If you notice the adjustment they made the second half is we're not going to run at those 5 big defensive linemen and those 2 real good linebackers, their total 7 front. What did they decide to do? Let's get outside. And it really paid dividends for them. That's fine coaching from Ryan Manali and his coaching staff. But take nothing also away from St. Charles Catholic, who rose to the occasion, had a great special team plan, did a great job on defense. Real good football team.
One of the best players for the De La Salle Cavaliers, Kendall Collins, really hobbled and couldn't get in and couldn't be used as much late in the fourth quarter. That hurt the Cavaliers a little bit. But still, no matter who the Cavaliers put in there, that's where you got to credit that defense. And you go back to number 7, Audemars. He might be our player of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Audemars comes downhill from his safety position, like Coach Monica said, like a linebacker playing safety. And De La Salle can't throw the ball, couldn't get behind him as far as any type of play-action passes. He had a big night for that St. Charles defense. Great defensive football game tonight. One of the best high school defensive games I think I've seen in a long time.
And then we're going to be treated to another one tomorrow with John Curtis and Archbishop Brummel High. And I tell you, I think you're going to see much of what you saw tonight you're going to probably see tomorrow, and it might come down to special teams, a mistake here, a mistake there, a big play here, a big play there.
Again, who's going to have splash plays? Who's going to make plays on defense?
There you go. How many times have you told a team you don't always win a game, but sometimes you can lose it by letting that big play or missing an assignment or doing something that you're not supposed to do? That's what we'll look for tonight. That's what we'll look for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So what does this mean for St. Charles Catholic and De La Salle as they go forward?
As they go forward, number 1, we've got a district championship that took place tonight, all right? That's what took place, okay? Number 2, they got to make sure they can't get tripped up in the next couple of weeks, because now they are continuing to play for those PowerPoint positions on that Division II bracket, and it's important not to get tripped up. De La Salle's got to go back to the drawing books. They'll do that tomorrow. They'll look at the film. They'll make their changes and get ready to play next week. St. Charles Catholic will do the same thing, but they're going to feel a lot better in the morning with the big win tonight.
Well, I can't wait till tomorrow. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. The Crescent City Sports Rivalry Series on CST wraps up tomorrow afternoon with another showdown for the District League. This time, it's the Catholic League as John Curtis meets Rummel High. Our coverage begins tomorrow at 2 p.m. For Wade Kaiser and our entire crew, I'm Ken Berthelot saying so long from uptown New Orleans on the campus of Tulane University at Yulman Stadium, where your final score was St. Charles Catholic 14, the Cavaliers of De La Salle 12. Good night, everybody.